This afternoon's Ohio State-Toledo game is being brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, where we keep you legal for less. Close to 75,000 right here on the shores of Lake Erie in Cleveland Brown Stadium. Take a look at Jim Tressel and his Ohio State Buckeyes as they look to bounce back from that loss to USC last Saturday. Against his former assistant, Tim Beckman, now the head coach at Toledo. Is this a Chamber of Commerce Saturday afternoon in September? 62 degrees at kickoff time, splashed in sunshine. An incredible day for Ohio State and Toledo to play Division I college football right here in the city of Cleveland. Aaron Petrie, one of the most talented legs in college football, has got it all teed up as you look at DeJuan Collins back in one of the deep spots. So settle back and enjoy. Again, the psychological today. How does Ohio State respond after the loss to USC? Toledo continue to stay on a roll. This is DeJuan Collins from the 3-yard line for Toledo. Collins made a move over the 25, and that's where Aaron Opelt will start with his University of Toledo Rocket offense. Opelt, the senior, out of Fremont Ross here in the Buckeye State. Absolutely sensational, making his 30th career start. And Aaron Opelt last week became nationally exposed as he led his football team to that 54-38 lacing of Colorado. Opelt was absolutely sparkling throwing the football as well as with his work on the ground. Toledo's offense averaging 42.5 points per game. They'll run 4 wide with tailback DeJuan Collins offset. Now Collins will empty out of that backfield. Opelt to put it up. He'll gun his in route, and he's got that true freshman, Eric Page. Page making the grab. Let's take a look at our State Farm impact players for the Toledo Rockets, Doug Chapman.
And the State Farm impact players are going to be Stephen Williams, the senior. He gets it done, 165 receptions. Steigerwald, he is a very, very solid place kicker, can get the job done. And Collins can also get the job done on offense.
Now Opelt on 2nd and 5. He's going to throw the football away. Good coverage in that secondary by the Ohio State defense as Opelt had nothing. And that'll bring up 3rd down now, and we'll call it 5. Stephen Williams, one of the truly talented. It's a big receiving core for Toledo's Rockets. And you take a look at the 3rd down conversion side. Toledo at 50% on the year. That's 2nd in the Mid-American Conference. The line to make now is at the 37-yard line. Opelt looking at 3rd and 5. That play clock at 1. Opelt being flushed out and had to throw the football away. Being chased from behind was Aaron Opelt by Lawrence Wilson, the 275-pound senior who had heat on the Toledo quarterback.
And that's going to be the key today for Ohio State, is getting pressure on Opelt. Do not give him time to sit in the pocket, diagnose the defense, and throw the ball downfield. If you can get to him, they're going to cause problems for Toledo's offense. Toledo's offensive line has got to do a great job protecting Aaron Opelt. It's going to be a long day today for them.
All right, you take a look at Ray Small back in that punt return spot as Bill Klaus will boot it away from the 20-yard line. Driving kick from Klaus. It'll send Small back to the 23. Ray Small could not wiggle out of a tackle. Good special teams play for Toledo. 45-yard punt for Klaus. As that Toledo Rocket special team work got Ray Small put on the ground. So let's take a look at the sophomore quarterback out of Jeannette, Pennsylvania, Terrell Pryor. Pryor, 59% career accuracy. This just his 3rd game into his sophomore season. And of course, he took over the starting job for Todd Beckman in his true freshman year for Jim Tressel in week 3 following the loss to USC. 6'6", 235-pound sophomore is Terrell Pryor. He'll run with Daniel Boom Heron as his tailback. It's Zach Boren, the freshman fullback, offset. Pryor to put it up. Pryor's throw is incomplete. He wanted to veer Posey. He ran Posey into the seam, and it was broken up by that young Toledo secondary. All right, let's take a look now at our State Farm Impact Players, brought to you by State Farm. To us, nothing more important than being there. Doug, what about Ohio State?
They've got Dan Herron out of the backfield. Yet to get 100 yards, but he can get the job done. Good running back. Dane Sanzenbacher, more of a possession-type receiver. He can get the job done through the passing game. But on the defensive side, Brian Roll filling in for that linebacking core. They lost Laurinaitis last year. Roll is a big-time player. Is going to have to make a lot of plays today to keep Ohio State in this football game.
Out of the ground game for the first time today, and off the right side, that carry from Boom Herron, the young man out of that tradition-rich program at Warren Harding. Archie Donald, very active linebacker that wears number 42. Doug, the Ohio State run game, it's come under heavy criticism. Boom Herron averaging just about 3 yards per carry. Why has it not been as effective as you're used to in Ohio State tradition?
I think you have guys that are trying to find their identity on this offense. Last year, Beanie Wells did such a good job running the ball, setting the tone early where the quarterback did not throw early on first downs. Now they're not sure if they're a running or a passing team. Everyone is finding their identity. That may be the problem with the stagnation on offense.
Pryor deep to Sanzenbacher. Get him! Dane Sanzenbacher puts 6 on the board. Ohio State, 76-yard touchdown strike from Terrell Pryor to Dane Sanzenbacher, the young man from Toledo Central Catholic High School.
And just as I call him a possession receiver, he beats the deep. Hey, this is great protection is where it starts. No one is anywhere near Terrell Pryor. And Sanzenbacher runs down the field, not touched off the line of scrimmage. Looks like there may have been some confusion in the secondary. Safety was way, way off of the hash where he was supposed to be. Sanzenbacher runs scot-free, 76 yards for the Ohio State touchdown.
There's been a lot of discussion about the lack of explosion plays from Ohio State this year. That very explosive. Aaron Petrie to add the PAT. We talk about the confidence of Terrell Pryor. Maybe that is a feel-good moment that Ohio State fans will harken back to. Dane Sanzenbacher, lightning quick 6, Ohio State up early. Terrell Pryor and the Ohio State offense explosive. Yes, and how with that 76-yard touchdown bomb to Dane Sanzenbacher. Longest play of the year. Previous had also been a Terrell Pryor, Dane Sanzenbacher hookup in the opener against Navy, in which Ohio State had the 2-touchdown lead and then had to ward off Navy 2 weeks ago today down in Columbus. And then, of course, a disheartening loss. Very disappointing to Ohio State faithful and Jim Tressel and staff to USC last week. DeWatt Collins had Kenny Veal back at the deep spots. So Ohio State on this gorgeous sun-splashed September afternoon on the board first. This is Kenny Veal on the Toledo return from the 5. Kenny Veal in open space. Late flag is probably going to bring that back after a 40-yard return from Kenny Veal that would have given Toledo outstanding field position. All right, let's check the call on this from referee Ron Torbert.
37.
And Toledo can ill afford to have holding
First down, Toledo.
At any point on a huge play like that. They have to get great field position, and they can't have things like that. But then you look at Terrell Pryor, what they do on offense for Ohio State, he drops back. Like I said, no one was anywhere near his feet, no hands in his face. The pocket was not backing up on him. Sanzenbacher runs a great route. It's easy to run a great route when you're untouched and not jamming him. Seems like to be a little bit of safety confusion on Toledo's side. He gets vertical, takes it 76 yards to the house.
Tim Beckman told us this week they cannot have negatives. In other words, penalties that take away returns. Can't put the football on the ground, so we'll see. Aaron Opel, bubble screen Eric Page. This true freshman, just so extraordinary. He got 5 on that wide receiver screen before he was taken down by Jermail Hines. Hines along with number 21 Anderson Russell. This Ohio State secondary fast, and they love to hit.
They love to hit, very aggressive, and that's what they have to do to stop Toledo today.
Opelt going quickly, going to air it out deep. He wanted Page, but overthrew him dramatically. There was pressure coming again, though, from Cameron Hayward. Hayward, along with Thaddeus Gibson, the two defensive ends, they've been real good for Jim Tressel's defense the first 2 weeks.
They've been great up front, getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and you see what they're doing right now against Toledo is they're condensing the pocket. Aaron Opelt does not feel comfortable in the pocket, and if a quarterback is not comfortable, he cannot step up and deliver good passes.
5 wide receivers now on 3rd and 5 as Opelt looks to convert. Opelt to put it up. Pocket collapsed and had to throw it away. The pressure came from Ohio State's front 4 as they got an excellent push up front as John Simon, the true freshman out of Youngstown, had heat on.
And you see the pressure is not coming from the outside. It's coming from the center of that offensive line. When you're getting pressure in those A and B gaps, the gap between your center and your guard and your tackle, that's when you have problems. Usually a lot of pressure comes from the outside. A quarterback can step up. But when a quarterback has to drift out of the pocket, can't even step up, it's going to be a long day. They're causing a lot of problems for Toledo's offensive line. They've got to get it together and got to get it together now.
Second consecutive 3 and out. Bill Klaus to drive his punt to Ray Small from the 34. Nowhere to go for Small as he got buried. 42-yard punt. Special teams hit from Bo Brodzinski. Brutus Buckeye like Terrell Pryor to Dane Sanzenbacher. Ohio State with a football in the lead when we get back.
And these are the things that Ohio State has to do. The great offensive line blocking, just the running back just has to get his legs up. It happens, but as a running back, you have to be able to run through that traffic. Last year, Beanie Wells, that may have been to the house. A guy like him, Herron, he's still finding his identity. Got to do the small things to make this running game go.
On 3rd and 1, Terrell Pryor searching for that first down stick. 6'6", 235 pounds. You know, Buckeye fans were questioning Jim Tressel last week about Pryor a couple times not keeping the football on the goal line against USC to try to put points on the board.
You know, when you're that size, we saw Terrell Pryor taking the field during warm-ups. He's a good-sized kid. He's only a sophomore. He's 6'6", 235. He's still growing. You got a quarterback that size, and you need 1 yard. You let him sneak it in there. He's going to fall down and get that yard.
We did. We saw Terrell Pryor with his Pittsburgh Pirates hat on, a young man from Jeanette, Pennsylvania, along with Boom Herron. Now Pryor on that speed option. Late pitch to Herron, and he got rocked. On that first down call, big stick from Barry Church. You're going to love Barry Church. Where's number 8? This young man has a chance to be a 4-time first-team Mid-American Conference performer.
And the option is played well here. Option is about assignment football. Everyone has a guy to go to, and when a team does not run the option a lot, it can catch the defense off guard. Barry Church does a great job playing his man. He sees the pitch, goes to the pitch man, makes a big stick. They've got to be physical. They're not bigger than Ohio State, but they have to play more physical to stay in this football game.
About 5 minutes into this opening quarter, Ohio State with the lead. Call it 2nd down and 8. Pryor to put it up. Pressure for the backside. Pryor running away from heat and finally gets popped out of bounds. Barry Church again on that hit. Terrell Pryor did not see anything he wanted and maybe wisely hung onto the football.
And that's the good you get with Terrell Pryor. He sees the field. Now this is where his athleticism kicks in. A lot of quarterbacks would have been sacked right there. His speed allows him to break the pocket. Good job by Barry Church, but even better job by Terrell Pryor not throwing a bad football downfield and hurting his team.
Now, how good is Barry Church? As we said, has a chance to join Nick Kaiser as the only 4-time first-team All-MAC performer in Toledo history. On 3rd and 7, Pryor with time. Out route. It is caught. First down as the true freshman Duron Carter son of legendary Ohio State and NFL wide receiver Chris Carter on the reception.
You know, and I remember Deron Carter when he was about 5 or 6 years old. That's how it shows how old I am coming to training camp when I was playing with Chris in Minnesota. But right now the cornerbacks for Toledo are giving too much space to these wide receivers. I understand there may be a speed disadvantage, but you cannot give a man 10 yards cushion. He's going to catch that football.
These are very young corners. Again, 3 true freshmen in that secondary. Blitz coming from Church. Now back to that run game, and this is Brandon Sane, the junior out of Piqua. He followed the blocks of center Michael Brewster, left guard Justin Boren, and right guard Bryant Browning. Got 8 on the first down call.
And Brandon Sane, they bring him in a lot to catch balls out of the backfield. Maybe the fastest guy on the team, but you can drive a truck through that hole. Right now, Ohio State is firing off the football in the running game and creating some great seams for the running back. Nice pickup on first down.
Now Pryor looking at 2nd and 2. False start from Justin Boren. Boren, the 350-pound junior. The Boren name interesting around Columbus.
Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Doug Chapman, it'll cost Ohio State 5. Justin Boren started his career playing next to Jake Long for the Michigan Wolverines. His father, Mike Boren, outstanding Big Ten linebacker for Michigan, for Bo Schembechler. And now Boren left when Rich Rodriguez came in and transferred. You look at J.B. Shugart. Shugart starting at right tackle today because of the injury to Jim Cordell. Cordell, the starter, going to miss 3 to 4 weeks potentially. Play clock at 1. Pryor on the option left. Terrell Pryor, sweet move. First down inside the 30-yard line before Archie Donald. That's 11 yards for Terrell Pryor. When he gets out on the edge, he's a nightmare.
I mean, when he gets out there, he's so long. He does not look like he's moving very fast. But if you go field level and if you play against this young man, he is really running. They clocked him at a 4.240. Gets the job done. But this is where he's dangerous with his legs. He can beat with his arm, but he can really be an assassin with his legs. When he gets in space, if he has a seam, you have to get him to the ground or he will hurt you.
Back to the run game, and again, this is the call that Boom Heron. Heron to lower his shoulder before Archie Donald and Bo Brodzinski, Toledo linebackers, got him on the ground. So again, we discussed, questioned the Ohio State ground game. Everyone around Columbus at the Ohio State camp saying it's evolving, it's a process. They need to have a big day today in the ground game.
They have to. New faces in new places. Guys are still finding their role. These guys have not been starters before. This is game number 3. They're trying to find themselves, and they're coming out. They want to establish the run against Toledo, use their size advantage up front, and establish the run early.
Again, Heron. He'll move the sticks first down near the 15-yard line. Twisted to the ground with the tackle from Barry Church. You'll hear Barry Church's name called all day. Just a tremendous talent. The young man from the city of Pittsburgh, Penn Hills High School, one of the finest linebacking hybrids in college football.
And he's kind of a tweener, not the biggest guy. They can move him around, put him out in coverage, but he's very, very active, does not stay blocked, is in opposing teams' backfields very, very often. He's more of that hybrid type, but they have him playing a linebacker, very aggressive player, makes a lot of football plays.
11th play of the drive, run game, not much there. Toledo was not fooled as Boom Heron got the call, the 195-pound sophomore. But Heron was belted to the ground as big Maurice Hill, the 286-pound senior for Toledo, made the hit. Smallish, though, front four for Toledo, a concern for Tim Beckman.
They're very, very small, and that's where the problem is in the trenches. You can get out-muscled. The guys up front have to know they're at a size disadvantage, not stay blocked. Be very, very active, get in the seams, and do not get hung on by blockers.
2nd and 12, Pryor looking end zone. His throw is caught. Touchdown. Outstanding throw to Dean Sanzenbacher in traffic. He's got a couple of touchdown grabs in the opening quarter.
And it looks like right now Sanzenbacher and Pryor have a lot of chemistry right now in the passing game. That's his go-to guy. Puts the ball where only his receiver. That's actually a great pass by Terrell Pryor. Throwing the seam route, puts it right where his receiver can get it. Great catch by Sanzenbacher. Almost brings it in with one hand. But I like the progression so far of Terrell Pryor throwing the football vertically down the field.
Aaron Petrie again out to add the point after touchdown. Exactly what the Ohio State Buckeyes needed to ward off the hangover from the very disheartening loss to USC. 2 times in the opening quarter, Terrell Pryor is hooked up with wideout Dane Sanzenbacher. 14-0 Ohio State. Now the Ohio State marching band ready to perform at halftime, and they're liking what they've seen in the first 9 minutes. It's a change. 2 Terrell Pryor touchdown throws, both of them to wide receiver Dane Sanzenbacher, the junior. And there's the drive that took 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Sustained drive to put points on the board. You love that if you're Jim Tressel and the offensive coaches on this staff.
If you're an offensive coach, a head coach, you love to see your offense have long drives where they mix it up with a little bit of run, pass, play action. And Terrell Pryor looks very, very comfortable, very, very relaxed in the pocket, not happy feet. They're running the ball decently. They're doing a good job right now early in this football game.
Partner, speaking of comfortability, the Toledo Rockets have not shown a lot here in the first 9 minutes, as we said. Now, a very crucial possession of the football here. They've had a pair of 3-and-outs against Jim Tressel's defense, and we'll see what Aaron Opelt. They've got to get something generated.
They have to. 11 yards of total offense thus far. Not one running play. Aaron Opelt's uncomfortable in the pocket. They've got to turn it on. They've got to do it right now.
All right, for the 3rd time in the opening quarter, Aaron Petrie to boom it away. This is DeJuan Collins from the 1. Collins got walloped. Special teams stop from Donnie Evegi, the sophomore out of Huber Heights.
And you see Sanzenbacher right here just getting vertical. They are playing too far off of these Ohio State Buckeye wide receivers. You cannot give good receivers that much of a cushion. And this right here is a great route and a great ball thrown by Terrell Pryor. Sanzenbacher runs a great seam route, or you can call it a skinny post. Gets inside, recognizes cover 2, bends it in front of the safety. Terrell Pryor puts the football exactly where only his receiver can catch it. Result is 6 points. They look good right now on offense.
And after the strong hit by Donnie Evans, Aaron Opelt, the 3rd possession for the Toledo Rockets. They've yet to pick up their initial first down. Run the football, DeJuan Collins. He got through a little bit of a seam. Collins taken down as Ohio State collapsed on that, as the Buckeye defense got presence from Anderson Russell, the 205-pound senior out of Atlanta.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
When you're playing a team like Ohio State, you cannot afford penalties or turnovers. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You get a positive run on first down. You already don't have great field position. Now you back yourself up to inside the 10-yard line when you haven't been able to do anything offensively. This is not a good sign. You cannot do this if you're Toledo right now.
Nope, they've been playing on a long field. It's their 2nd major penalty here in the opening quarter, and now Aaron Opelt. On 2nd down, they got screen set up to Collins looking for a block. Collins got a solid block from Mike Vandermeulen, that 315-pound sophomore. So biggest play of the afternoon, DeJuan Collins, a couple yards shy of the first down sticks. They set up screen left very well.
They set it up, but the thing about Ohio State is they're so quick getting off of blocks, they don't allow it to pop for a big gain. Gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage, and now they got a long 2nd down. They have to convert, pick up some yards here, so they're not in a long 3rd down situation.
Again, they'll empty out the backfield. 5 wide. Opelt, pressure coming. Fires middle, and it is caught. Outstanding throw on the crossing route from Aaron Opelt as he found big Stephen Williams. Williams had 15 catches against Purdue in the season opener.
You know, and Ohio State brings the blitz. So Opelt's had pressure in his face the entire time. They bring Ross Holman in, the linebacker, but Opelt does a great job stepping to his right, knowing where the blitz is coming and finding the open receiver. If that's what it's going to take, they're going no back, so they don't have any protection. There's going to be quicker routes. Receivers have to understand that, get into their route faster and help the quarterback out. Great job by Toledo offense.
First down of the afternoon as Opelt hit rangy Stephen Williams. Now run the football on that inside play to DeJuan Collins. Collins got 3 working behind the blocks of Mike Vandermeulen and Jared DeWald on the left side. That was Cameron Hayward for Ohio State on the stop.
And they've got to keep Ohio State honest. They can't just sit back there and pass the football and let Ohio State tee off on them defensively. They've got to mix it up, run the football. Collins averaging close to 100 yards a game, a little over 90. He's a good back. They've got to mix it up, got to pick up yardage on first down to try to sustain some long drives against Ohio State.
Ohio State showing just a 3-man front defensively. This is 2nd and 8. Empty backfield, 5 wide. Opelt. Blitz coming. Crossing route off the hands of Stephen Williams. Opelt sensed the blitz coming there and had to get rid of the football.
Had to get rid of it. Like I said, a lot of these routes when you're running no back, someone's going to be what they call a free runner. When the linebacker comes through, he is a free runner. Holman comes through unblocked. Opelt has to get rid of the football, but they're playing man on the backside in coverage. Receiver doesn't catch the ball. If he did catch it, would have been a minimal gain. But they need to find a way to protect Opelt. Leave the back in the backfield if necessary. Got to get more vertical passes downfield.
Opelt, 3rd and long. Going to air it out deep for Williams. Stephen Williams with Chimdi Chekwa, and it was broken up. Outstanding defensive play. Chimdi Chekwa, the junior cornerback out of Claremont, Florida.
I like the play call. I like the pass. It's just unfortunate that he could not come down with that football. They keep the back end to protect, and they go up, and he has a chance. Great job by both players. But the wide receiver, if you get your hands on a football, you've got to bring it in. But I like the play call. Good job, good aggressive play call going vertical. It's unfortunate they couldn't convert on that.
Over the 3rd time today, Ray Small, who wears number 82, back to receive that kick of Toledo's Bill Klaus. Pressure coming, and Klaus did not get a lot of this one. It'll take a left turn and angle out of bounds at the 30-yard line, where Terrell Pryor and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. You know, we mentioned the long-standing family connection between the head coaches, Jim Tressel and former assistant Tim Beckman. Tim Beckman for 2 years, a defensive secondary coach, then went with Mike Gundy as a defensive coordinator for Oklahoma State before getting his opportunity. Doug, though, his father, Dave, played for Jim Tressel's late father, Lee Tressel, about 10 miles from here at Division III power Baldwin Wallace. Tressel quarterback for his father there, and of course Tim Beckman, so close to the Tressel family. He's always said that the Tressel family, much like as we got motion there from J.B. Shugarts, but Tressel family at times almost like the second family for Tim Beckman.
And just to follow up what you said, when you go back that far, you saw them shake hands at center field before the kickoff, and it was a genuine deal. It wasn't just a friendly, you're the opposing coach, let's be nice about this. You could generally tell through their body language and the way they act. Those guys really do care about each other. They want to see the other one successful, and that goes a long way. I mean, it's a lot to do with just off the field stuff, not just football. They go a long way off the field also.
Absolutely. We'll show you more about that. Terrell Pryor on that quarterback draw. Now Pryor will step outside the numbers, and he's close to a first down at the 38-yard line. 13 yards for Terrell Pryor. Jim Tressel told us in our conference call this week, he said that there is so much that goes above and beyond football with the relationship with the Beckman family. He said Tim Beckman is going to be a tremendous head football coach. He said because he's passionate and is completely immersed with his kids. And
that's how you have to be if you want your kids to respond to you. Coaches just can't be up there coaching from a pedestal. You have to be in there. You have to know what your kid, you have to understand your players, and your players will care more about you as a coach and want to go and play a little bit harder for you.
Well, there was a hole on that left side before it closed down. However, that carry for Ohio State over the 40-yard line will result in the first down as Michael Brewster, that center, got the block for the true freshman Jordan Hall. So we thought we'd see Jordan Hall today, and now you get a look at the young man out of Jeanette, Pennsylvania, played with Terrell Pryor in high school. So Jordan Hall with his first carry as a true freshman for Ohio State. Toledo showing blitz. Pryor off play action. In trouble from the backside. Just puts it up for grabs, and it got picked off. It's intercepted by Toledo's Mark Singer. And Singer will get dragged down at the 9-yard line. Ill-advised throw on his way to being taken to the ground from Terrell Pryor results in the INT.
And then we have good Terrell earlier, then we have bad Terrell Pryor. And you see he scrambles. Good on this play, avoiding the rush, but then he feels people around his legs, knows he doesn't have his legs under him, throws the ball up for grabs for an interception. These are things that you wonder about what he thinks about back there as a quarterback. We know he's a great athlete. He knows he's a great athlete. Take that ball, run, eat it, take the loss, live to fight another down. Now you've turned the football over to the opposing team.
These are the things that Jim Tressel was speaking to us about during the course of the week. All right, Aaron Opelt now, Toledo's 4th possession of the opening quarter. Wide receiver screen off the hands of Eric Page. Page, though, was in coverage by Jermail Hines. Hines, one of the outstanding talents from Glenville High School that produced Troy Smith and Ted Ginn under the direction of head coach Ted Ginn Sr. for this Ohio State program. As you look at it, Terrell Pryor's was having a brilliant day up until that ill-advised throw.
And it's not the fact that it's just sometimes he doesn't think sometimes back there at quarterback. He could be a great quarterback. He just has to sometimes understand when it's time to eat the ball and just take a sack, throw it away, or just try to scramble and get down. But don't try to always be the hero and throw the deep ball. It's not going to work.
Opelt's got to throw it away. He was feeling a lot of pressure in the end zone, was Aaron Opelt. And that pressure came from Ohio State linebacker Nathan Williams, a 245-pound sophomore. So Ohio State confusing and showing different looks in where they're coming from after Aaron Opelt.
They're doing a little bit of twisting and stunning in the front four, but and on the backside they're running pretty vanilla secondary. But it's just man on man in the trenches, and they're just beating Toledo's men right now up front. They're just physically overpowering Toledo's offensive line and not giving Opelt any time. I'm surprised they don't keep a back in to help protect.
Ohio State showed blitz and backed off. That throw is caught by wide receiver Robert Bailey. And that's going to come up short, though, as Toledo is going to have to boot the football away. The throw was hauled in by Bailey, the 230-pound senior. That's going to bring up 4th, and let's call it 2.
Toledo has to find a way on offense to get a sustained. Ohio State has given up 4 drives of 80-plus yards this season. It can be done. Toledo just has to find a way to establish a drive where they mix it up with the run, the pass. They have to protect the quarterback a lot better because they're going to have these 3-and-outs continuously all afternoon.
Bill Kloss again off the side of his foot, did not hit that like he had his first 2. Already 4 Toledo punts in the opening quarter. And Terrell Pryor and the Ohio State offense is going to play on a very short field with a football at the 47-yard line of Toledo. Tim Beckman's offense, and this is what we thought. You wondered last week and even in their season opening loss to Purdue. They were very explosive. Last week they put 54 up in disposing of Big 12 foe Colorado, but in 4 possessions today, just 1 first down.
Just 1 first down, and Vince, Ohio State is doing exactly what a lot of Big Ten teams do, and that's just playing physical football, and the physicality starts up front. They're just more physical right now than Toledo was in the trenches, and that's been the story of the football game.
Out of the spread, Ohio State will run the football. Boom! Herron will work off that right side and power his way down near the first down sticks. That's going to be a gain of 10 and a first down for the Ohio State Buckeyes as Daniel Herron got the call out of the spread.
And once again, it starts up front. Great blocking by the offensive line. Great cut by Boom Herron. Seeing it, taking it front side, seeing something backside, getting north and south. Herron has ability. He just has not played a lot. The more experience he gets, the better of a running back he's going to be. And you look at the total offense right now, Ohio State is dominating in that category right now.
Ohio State showing blitz, and Boom Herron got knifed down around the line of scrimmage. Coming up and making that hit out of the secondary for the Toledo Rockets. Making that stop for Toledo was Lester Richmond, the strong safety. And also in on the hit was Bell. And that'll be the final play of quarter number 1. Oh, a feel-good opening 15 minutes for Terrell Pryor and the Ohio State Buckeyes. A couple of touchdown throws to Dane Sanzenbacher. Toledo's offense short-circuited here. Ohio State by 2 touchdowns. A lot of September color on this Saturday afternoon in downtown Cleveland Brown Stadium, as the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Toledo Rockets get together again. Ohio State with this 14-0 lead. Michael Rega alongside my partner Doug Chapman. Terrell Pryor needed a feel-good experience in the first 15 minutes of football. He got that with this 2 touchdown throws to Dane Sanzenbacher.
He looked comfortable back there. His throwing motion is getting better. He's stepping into his throws. He's not throwing off of his back foot. And that's the things you want to see from Terrell Pryor. That you want to see early from him in his throwing. You know, throwing, following through, doing well, just being comfortable back there, seeing the field. That's the things you want from Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, seeing the field to be sure. And now Ohio State playing on another short field with an opportunity to add already to this 2 touchdown lead for Toledo. Major penalties, not being able to move the sticks, everything Tim Beckman did not want.
They can't do it. Certain things, they're 3 and outs. They're stalling on drives. They're not capitalizing off of the turnovers they get from Ohio State. These are the things that they have to do to win the football game. They haven't done them. That's why they're in a hole now.
All right, Terrell Pryor on the short field now, looking at 3rd down, and we'll call it 4. And Pryor, with that play clock about to expire, is going to get an Ohio State timeout here early in quarter number 2. Next time we get together with you next Saturday, more exciting Mid-American Conference football comes your way. We'll be in Philadelphia on September the 26th. Turnigill and his Buffalo Bulls will head into Tangle. They got Naaman Roosevelt, that outstanding wideout, against that man, Al Golden. And the Owls of Temple and the East Coast offense. Lincoln Financial Field, the spot. Doug Chapman, yours truly. And a week from today at noon Eastern on ESPN+. So for Tim Beckman, an opportunity to not only play but get a win from one of his mentors in college football, and Jim Tressel, Ohio State. Positive so far on 3rd down. This is 3rd down and 4 with the line to make the 27. Pryor will step into his throw, and it is caught as he got DeVere Posey on the in route. Posey very fluid, makes his 10th catch of the year. The young man from LaSalle High in Cincinnati. That's 13 yards and moved the sticks for Ohio State. And
as I talked about earlier, Toledo's defensive backs have got to step up and jam these receivers from Ohio State. You cannot let receivers on any level run scot-free, because they're going to be able to get into their route, jam the receiver, give Posey a little bit of jam off the line, take him out of his route, take them off of their rhythm. Right now, Ohio State is doing exactly what they want on offense, especially in the passing game.
Off play action, he wants his tight end, Jake Ballard, on that corner route, and he had too much air under the football. Well, Pryor was feeling some pressure and missed Jake Ballard in the back of the end zone.
And this is where the problems come with Terrell Pryor, is when he does feel pressure, some of the things he does, when he gets pressure, his throwing motion goes completely out the window. I'm not even sure what that was. He rose up on his toes and just lets it go. Had his receiver open. Make the move, be an athlete, avoid the rush, step through, deliver the football. He does a good job when he's protected. His problem is when he has pressure in his face, and then the decision he makes once the pressure comes.
Blitz coming Toledo. Pryor, quarterback draw. Trying to get to the edge. Terrell Pryor made a move. Got taken to the ground at the 10-yard line. Toledo was able to get Pryor controlled. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
And he's just a natural athlete. He's 6'6", 235 pounds. He's very, very gifted. And you see, he sees it break down, makes a nice move. To a viewer, he looks like he's gliding and moving very slow. But on the field, Terrell Pryor is a very, very, very fast athlete. Then he's big, so one man's not going to bring him down. When he gets to the secondary, they have to gang tackle him. But that's the element he brings to that quarterback position and makes Ohio State dangerous on offense.
Red zone offense for Ohio State. 3rd and 2 now. The line to make down near the 8. Play clock at 1. Pryor running option right. That late pitch. Boom Heron inside the 5. He lowered the boom down to the 4-yard line. That'll move the sticks. Set Ohio State up at 1st and goal from inside the 5.
That'll move the sticks. And this option play is very dangerous when you have a quarterback like Terrell Pryor that can keep it and hurt you just like a running back. He decides to pitch it. Good job by Heron. Nice speed to the corner. Gets upfield, moves the chains. They've got to incorporate Heron in this offense and get him up and running. A great running game is a quarterback's best friend. They're doing a solid job so far, giving him chances. They just have to capitalize.
Isolation play. Heron's got the corner. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And I mean, it's just right now, this is what you're seeing from Ohio State. We're going to come off the football. We're bigger than you and we're stronger than you. We're going to move you out of the way and give our running back seams. He was not touched on that play. Nice little downhill counter. Touchdown. You have to build some confidence in the running game to run the football. Your running back has to get into a rhythm. Your offensive line has to get into one. If they can develop that, the running game will pick up. 3.3 yards coming into this game Heron had. I'm thinking that right now Coach Russell wants to develop the running game and get it up and running.
3rd PAT added by Aaron Petrie, and those are wearing the scarlet and gray in downtown Cleveland, loving it. 4-yard touchdown, John. Boom Heron, all Ohio State. Now the city of Cleveland and the Cuyahoga River as we look to the skyscape of downtown Cleveland, always ready for the appearance of the Ohio State Buckeyes and Toledo Rockets. Beautiful day on Lake Erie and beautiful day for the Ohio State offense. They've been most effective. 3 of their 4 possessions have put 7 on the board. As you take a look at the numbers on that Ohio State scoring drive as Boom Heron gets into the end zone. Heron with his 3rd rushing touchdown on the season. Toledo's offense, 4 possessions. Garnered just 1 first down. Aaron Petrie will bang it away over the head of Kenny Veal, a couple yards deep, but he's going to come out. Veal got put to the ground at the 14-yard line, and the Ohio State special teams doing an outstanding job as they put Kenny Veal to the turf. And we say once again, 5th possession for Aaron Opelt and the Toledo offense. They've got to be able to get something sustained.
Sustained. The fifth possession, no points. They've run 15. They've run the ball 1 time and got 14 passes. They have not got any consistency on offense. I mean, look at this number right here. Ohio State has played on Toledo's side of the field the entire game. Toledo cannot sustain a drive and move the ball across the 50. And they've got to be able to do that. They can't just line up and try to throw the football. They've got to be honest on offense to make this Ohio State defense play.
Direct snap to DeJuan Collins as Aaron Opelt left the backfield and split outside, and Collins only got a couple. Ohio State's interior, Doug Worthington out of Athol Spring, New York. Worthington wears number 84, big 275-pound senior, made the stop.
And they've got to start dialing up some plays on offense. You see they're trying to do a little trickeration there. Whatever works, they've got to start dialing up a few plays, Toledo does, to get this ball moving.
Opelt on 2nd and 8, off play action, going deep. Had Stephen Williams there. Williams had a step on Devon Torrance, the cornerback, but Opelt's throw, too much air under it.
He had a step, and you know what? That throw Opelt most likely would have completed. But the thing is that he gets so much pressure in his face early in the game that he's not comfortable, delivers and overthrows the football from not being comfortable in the pocket.
Aaron Opelt and the Ohio State Buckeyes, there you see his numbers, just 5 of 14, and they are 0 for 4 on 3rd down. On 3rd and 9 for Opelt. He'll fire the out. It's caught by Eric Page, the talented freshman. He was taken down by Jermail Hines, but that is going to move the sticks for a Toledo 1st down. 9-yard pickup, 1st down Rockets. Opel going quickly now back to the air, and his throw again had too much on it for tight end Danny Noble. We're delighted you're a part of our ESPN coverage of college football today out of downtown Cleveland, Cleveland Browns Stadium, with my partner Doug Chapman and all of our ESPN production crew. I'm Michael Regai. The Ohio State Buckeyes with this 21-0 lead following their very disappointing 3-point loss at home. The third-ranked USC last weekend. Toledo in off the 54-point explosion that beat Colorado 54-38. Second and 10 for Aaron Opel. Blitz coming, and Opel lost his footing, and then his throw fell incomplete. Good coverage from Kurt Coleman, but a lot of heat on Aaron Opel.
And right now, offensively, they're completely out of sync. They're not getting anything accomplished. They're not. First off, they're not protecting the quarterback, and that's where it all starts. If you can't protect your quarterback, you can't move the football. They can't run the ball. Ohio State is having their way with them on the football field right now.
Third down and 10 for Opel. Line to make out at the 35-yard line. Opel to put it up. The deep out should have been caught. It got through the hands of true freshman Eric Page. That would have continued this drive with a foot. Opel put it right there, and Page let it slide through his hands. Incomplete.
A good corner route by Page. He just doesn't bring it in. You've got to watch that ball all the way in, right off the fingertips. Those are the plays that they have to capitalize on, because they can't afford to give the football back to Ohio State. They've got to make plays wherever they can. Everyone needs to step up right now in offense, take it upon themselves, and make a play.
Ray Small back to receive that punt from the 38-yard line. Klaus got it away. Returnable for Small, and he got taken down right away. Well, that's an outstanding special teams play while he was being held, mind you, by Toledo's Isaiah Ballard, the sophomore from Toledo. It's going to cost Ohio State on the hold on the punt return.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team, number 18. 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
Travis Howard, the true freshman, the guilty party. Ohio State, 3 touchdowns on the board here through the first 18 minutes. We'll see Terrell Pryor when we get back. Jim Tressel told us this week, hey, the expectation level will always have heat attached to it when you're the head football coach at Ohio State. Jim Tressel's got some problems on his offensive line. He's already missing Jim Cordell due to injury, the starting right tackle, and now Justin Boren getting that right ankle retaped now. Boren, the transfer from the Michigan Wolverine program, the 315-pound junior. Oh, Terrell Pryor on that first down call, and this is Brandon Sane. Sane will run hard as he followed the block of left tackle Andrew Miller, as Toledo trying to get that defensive presence to get this Ohio State run game stopped now. We wondered about the Ohio State run game. Alex Johnson made the hit. Now Ohio State going to go quickly here on 2nd down and 5. Again, Brandon Sane, nowhere to go there, as you saw Sane get dragged down. As that Toledo front 3 making the stops. Maurice Hill in on the hit again. And
Sane is another one of those running backs. You know, Herron is the main guy, but Sane can really get the job done. Played a lot last year, spelled Beanie Wells. But on defense for Toledo, someone has to step up and make a play. Someone has to make a big play, force a fumble, pick the ball off, sack the quarterback, make a big stop in the backfield, because they're not getting it done on offense. Defense has to help them out right now.
4 carries for 13 yards for Brandon Sane. Ohio State 5 for 5 on 3rd down converts. Got a flag, and J.B. Shugarts, that sophomore right tackle. And here's the spot I just mentioned.
Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Jim Cordell, the veteran, the senior, out 3 to 4 weeks with injury. So they moved J.B. Shugarts, that young man who wears number 76, into the starting lineup on the right side.
And the consistency, to run the ball, you have to have consistency. And in the offensive line, if guys are not used to playing things like offsides, holding, little penalties happen because they're just not used to being in there. Those are going to happen when you got a new face in a new place.
3rd and 9, blitz coming. Pryor will step up. The elusiveness of Terrell Pryor held the football there, but he was dragged down from behind. Barry Church again on the hit. Church, that dynamic number 8, got some help from his partner Archie Donald, the 2 high school teammates.
And Pryor does a great job stepping up, avoiding the rush. Great move, but put the ball away right here. He pumps the ball, looking downfield, almost made a poor throw, but protect the football. If someone would have swiped that ball and turned it over, that would have been a huge play for Toledo.
Well, let's see if Toledo gets buoyed by that defensive stop. First punt of the day. It's Ben Buchanan doing the honors, and Buchanan got the pretty nice roll, favorable indeed, down inside the 25. So a roll of about 15 yards on the tail end of that. All right, let's flash back. But Ohio State fans weren't disappointed last year when Toledo played in front of a record 107,000 at the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan Stadium the first quarter. Look at senior safety Tyrell Herbert. He's gone 100 yards for that INT to put Toledo on the board 7-0. Wide receiver Nick Moore, 20 catches, set a Michigan Stadium record. Alex Steigerwald wants a pink off the crossbar. 48-yard field goal put the Rockets ahead. And then when K.C. Lapata missed this Michigan field goal, it sealed the win for Tom Amstutz and Toledo, the first Mid-American Conference school to beat Michigan. All right, Aaron Opelt got flushed out of the pocket with pressure from Big Rob Rose of Ohio State and threw it away. A major win to be sure. And of course, last week's over Colorado, the Big 12. But Doug, like we said, they beat Iowa State and Kansas from the Big 12. They've taken care of Pitt. You don't see on there. They went to Happy Valley in 2000 with Gary Pinkel, the head coach, and beat the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah, they've got big victories, but today it's hard to win a football game when you're taken completely out of what you do. They're a pass-happy offense, and until now, this throw right here, great throw by Opelt. Earlier, they've not been able to protect Opelt, even giving him the opportunity to get the ball downfield.
That throw was caught by big tight end Danny Noble, and now you see with out huddle, Aaron Opelt will keep the football, and he's got that first down. He'll wedge his way to the 35-yard line. So the spread and allowing personnel to get on and off the field, they let the play clock run down their first 5 possessions. Now they're going quicker.
They're going quicker. They realize they've got to get something done, get into a rhythm. Opelt threw a nice ball through the middle of the field. Let's try to get into a rhythm, run the football, and catch this Ohio State defense off guard.
And go back to the ground game for the Rockets at Toledo as they'll run tailback DeJuan Collins. He's a 210-pound senior. Collins had a dynamic junior year for the Rockets of Toledo. This year came into today averaging 6.5 a carry. So second down, let's call it 8. Give Collins 2. Opelt guns the in route, and he's got big Stephen Williams. Williams made the catch in traffic. Excellent play off the corner from Andre Amos. Middletown High School wears number 13 for Ohio State. Going to bring up a third down. We'll call it about 3.
And those are the throws that Aaron Opelt can make. The quick slants. He can thread the needle, get the ball up the hashes. The receivers from Toledo just have to get open, and the offensive line has to give him some protection.
4 wide receivers and DeJuan Collins offset for Opelt. On 3rd and 3, pressure coming. He had to get rid of it. Well, lowering the boom on Aaron Opelt was Doug Worthington, who put a shot on the senior quarterback of Toledo.
And it looks like there was a lot of confusion in the offensive line between the guard and the tackle. Worthington comes through untouched, a complete beeline to the quarterback. Someone on the sideline for Toledo is about to get an earful right now, because if Opelt will not make it through the game if he takes too many more shots like that.
Boy, uncharacteristic numbers for Aaron Opelt. 14 incomplete throws today, just 8 of 22. And once again, Bill Klaus in to boot it away. It's a 6th punt already for Toledo. Klaus on that angle kick, and this is Ray Small for the 22. Small got stood up and then stopped at his track. Tom Berzine, the senior tight end, made the first hit. 255-pounder, 36-yard boot, 8-yard return for Ray Small. And Toledo just not able to sustain offense. They've had a couple of major penalties, and they've let Ohio State hit 2 big plays. Everything Tim Beckman said can't happen has for Toledo.
You know, when you're physically outmatched by an opponent, you can't do things to hurt yourself. And that's what they've done so far. Cannot continue it.
I do hope you're enjoying this one today. As we said, Doug Chapman's here. I'm Michael Regai from Cleveland Brown Stadium. Our producer, Greg Logan, director David Taska, and all of our terrific crew. Bringing you Ohio State and Toledo. Run the football. That's a gaping hole. And into the second level is Brandon Sane. Big bust out for Sane as he got a great kick out block on that right side of the Ohio State line. 31 yards for Sane.
And I talked about the game, the battle in the trenches, and Ohio State is just coming off the football and moving Toledo off the ball. When you have holes like that and you have running backs that are hitting the holes, you're going to get big gains. Brandon Sane is a very, very fast back. If you give him a crease, he can take it to the house. You see the big pickup by him right there.
Sane again will try to get to the edge. That's a terrific tackle out of the secondary as Brandon Sane was taken down. Making the stop was Walter Atkins, the senior cornerback. Sane, if he shook Atkins, he had a chance to get to the corner and pick up some more real estate.
And I like what they're doing right now. They're not sitting in the shotgun. They're trying to come out, establish the run, continue doing up front offensively what they've done the entire game, and get the running game going. Right now, Sane has the hot hand, so he's in the game. And they're looking good moving the football on the ground.
Now Pryor to throw with a lot of time, and that throw is incomplete. In traffic, he wanted the true freshman Duron Carter, and it was broken up. Archie Donald with that linebacker drop to help break it up for Toledo.
I mean, first it starts off with great protection. They have not touched Terrell Pryor when he sits back there. They form a nice pocket. Good throw, a little bit of mechanics. He goes from good to bad depending on the type of throw. Solid mechanics, just couldn't come up with the pass right there.
3rd and long for Terrell Pryor. They'll set up screen right. Sane wants a block. Brandon Sane has got a first down. He explodes inside the 25. Jermaine Robinson, free safety on the Toledo hit, 16 yards, set up screen right beautifully. Ohio State first down.
And this is just like a long toss right here to Brandon Sane. He gets it, makes one decisive cut, cuts upfield. Great run by Brandon Sane, great play call, and they're almost to the red zone in scoring territory again.
Back to the ground game. Sane nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. That's Bo Brodzinski. You know the name Brodzinski, Bob Brodzinski, former Miami Dolphin. That's his son. And 230-pound senior made the stop. Bo Brodzinski for Toledo.
And I'm still waiting for someone on Toledo to make a play. I'm waiting for someone to get in that backfield. I'm waiting for someone to strip the ball, waiting for an interception. They need something, and they need it now to get some type of momentum because they have not been able to get anything going against Ohio State today.
So a loss of a couple, let's call it second down for Terrell Pryor. All kinds of time. He'll check down, and he's got Brandon Sane. Sane taken down by Barry Church. Barry Church with a superb. Doug Chapman, you better be secure if you're Barry Church out there in space trying to take down Brandon Sane, and Church was.
Barry Church just made one of the hardest plays there are to make for a defender in the game of football. When you have a guy that's faster than you and shiftier than you in space, to bring him down one man by yourself without help from your defenders, that's a great play by Barry Church, bringing down the speedy Sane to the ground.
Now Terrell Pryor empty the backfield with 5 wide. The play clock down to 3. 3rd and 8. Just got that snap off. Pryor's in trouble. Terrell Pryor makes a move to the outside. Pryor, first down inside the 10. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. There's the exclusive premium athleticism of Terrell Pryor.
And there's never been a question about this young man's athleticism. When he pulls the football down, he's as dangerous as any running back in college football when he's running. He may have stepped out back a little early. They might want to look at this play again, but he's a very, very dangerous scrambler. When he pulls the football down, you have to corral him and bring him to the ground, or he will hurt you.
Terrell Pryor looking to snap it quick. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Ohio State will run out of the eye. This is Boom Herron, and he got rocked. Boom Herron just got rocked from the backside by Archie Donald. Penn Hills High School in Pittsburgh, hard-hitting 235-pounder. There's Archie Donald.
And for the first time, Toledo really comes off the ball and gets penetration in the backfield. You see one man come through, misses, makes Herron get in a little bit tighter, take it to the A-gap. Great play by Donald, great play by Toledo, being aggressive and not bowing back on defense.
We come inside the 3-minute mark now here in quarter number 2. Ohio State knocking on the door again. They'll run with Zach Boren and Boom Herron out of the eye on second and goal. Herron again. Oh no, he got stopped again right around the line of scrimmage. Dan Mulls, a 250-pound freshman. You can hear the Ohio State fans letting Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes know not happy with the play calls on the goal line.
They're not happy with it in first because they haven't been able to run the ball all year. And they're not happy right now. They want more aggressive play calling, pull it down, throw a fade route, work the play action pass. But when something hasn't been working all year and you're not scoring on it right now, you hear the fans booing. And not just that, don't take anything away from Toledo. They're not going to give Ohio State anything right now. They're playing tough goal line defense here.
Third and goal from the 4 with 3 wide receivers. Pryor looking end zone. Coming middle, it was deflected by Archie Donald. He got a left hand on it. Now Pryor looked like he might have had a seam to just stroll into the end zone, but he wanted his tight end Jake Ballard. Donald deflected it incomplete.
And that's the development of a Terrell Pryor. It's either he doesn't want to be just a scrambler, but he wants to be a better passer. He thinks a little bit too much. Pull the ball down, young man, and just run that in. You're the best athlete on the field. Run the football in right here for 6 points. Instead, he throws a ball that's almost picked off. These are things in the development process of Terrell Pryor that worry me about him being the quarterback for this football team.
21-yard field goal attempt, chip shot for one of the best in the business, and Aaron Petrie just clanged that off the left upright. The Toledo Rockets wind up getting a stop as Aaron Petrie, about as automatic as there is in the game, got paint on that left upright and did not convert. So Toledo gets a reprieve. 21-0 Ohio State. Come on back with us. Colorful Ohio State marching band will be on this turf at Cleveland Browns Stadium. They'll perform at halftime. Ohio State with their 3-touchdown lead. Now, coming up at halftime, don't go away. We'll get you inside the Mid-American Conference with Lowell Galindo, and the guys in the studio will pay tribute to Miles Brand, and we'll show you the pictures and give you the numbers of the first half of football. Aaron Opelt trying to make something happen, and his throw was almost picked off. Opelt wanted Stephen Williams on a crossing route, and that throw was defensed by that active middle linebacker, Ross Holman, out of Coldwater High School here in Ohio.
They have to get something out of this drive, whether it's just 3 points. And you see Opelt looks downfield, finds his receiver over the middle. Good job by Holman tipping that football. Keep protecting Opelt. Give him some time. Let him get that football downfield. Toledo has had no plays in Ohio State territory the entire game. They've got to do a better job.
Opel on second down came underneath. He's got Stephen Williams who put a good move on, and Williams got 9 before he was rattled to the ground by Ross Holman along with Austin Spittler. As they combine to make the hips. Brian Roll there as well. Roll has been exceptional. Roll is a 221-pound junior, wears number 36. He, Ross Holman, Austin Spittler, the linebacking trio. Third down and a couple for Aaron Opelt. Line to make it the 30. Clock approaches the minute mark in quarter number 2. Opelt will swing it out. I don't know if that backup tailback got to the first down sticks, as Opelt's throw was hauled in by Adonis Thomas. sophomore. He came up short.
I think he stepped
out of bounds short, didn't he?
A yard too short. I think he got out of there a yard too quick. I understand him wanting to get out of bounds, but you have to be aware on the field where you are. Get upfield, get the first down, then get out of bounds. You see, he catches the swing. He gets up couple more steps upfield. He was well short of that first down marker.
7 possessions of the football for the Toledo Rockets in the first half. This will be the 7th punt for Bill Klaus. This the direct antithesis of what
delay of game by the offense. 5 yards, still 4th down.
Toledo did last week offensively as they put an explosive 54 points on the board for head coach Tim Beckman. 7 possessions, 7th punt for Bill Klaus here in the opening half.
And you and I both know this, Michael, that offense is rhythm. If you can't get into a rhythm on offense, it's very tough to get things going. They have not been allowed to get into a rhythm the entire football game. So everything they do is a struggle. It's very hard for them to get any positive plays going right now.
Ray Small looking at that football now get on that white boundary out of bounds. That rugby style kick from Bill Klaus to keep it away from Small. 46 yards worth with just 56 seconds left in the first half. As this Ohio State football program, last time they came to here in the city of Cleveland back in 1991. They had a Big Ten win over Ohio State at the old Cleveland Browns Stadium, right here in the same spot, just not the same venue.
They're hopefully they can channel some of that old magic today, but it's not looking good for them so far in the first half.
Toledo's Rockets 4th and 1 there, and Tim Beckman said nope with the football at the 29-yard line. He wanted to boot it away. And now Terrell Pryor with 56 seconds. He'll put the football down on that quarterback draw, and Barry Church rattled him and made the hit. Church, who wears number 8, also got some help from Jermaine Robinson, and now Ohio State's going quickly.
You know, Barry Church, despite them being down 21-0, Barry Church is playing one great football game so far in the first half. He's fighting. He's got to inspire the rest of that defense and come out in the second half and make a lot more plays.
Pryor will gun his throw. True freshman Deron Carter will make the grab. That's a first down. Now Pryor steps into that throw and had good pace on it and hit Carter where only he could haul it in. First down, Ohio State.
Now once again, there's that cushion off of the receivers. They're playing 7-8 yards off and bailing as soon as the ball snapped. Not getting up and jamming these wide receivers, allowing them to get comfortable into their routes. That leads to big offensive plays.
Carter on that deep, or rather Pryor on the deep throw for DeVere Posey, and Posey wasn't able to haul it in as Terrell Pryor looked like he had Posey on that out and up on the left sideline.
He had him, and that's the small things in Terrell Pryor's mechanics. The stepping through, throwing motion is not the greatest, and it takes touch off of his balls. He had a wide receiver open, but he didn't follow through. Feet were not underneath him. Delivers a high football.
Ohio State almost equaling their normal per game total offense here in the first half. On 2nd and 10, Pryor all kinds of time. The square in is caught again by Dane Sanzenbacher, who has had a marvelous first half. The 175-pound junior, that's 24 yards at a first down with that clock at 5 ticks.
And right now, they're just playing backyard football. The wide receivers are running around scot-free. Defenders are not doing a good job finding the receiver, finding the spots on the field, jamming the receivers. The wide receivers are allowed to get into their route, and Sanzenbacher and Terrell Pryor seem to be on the same page early in this football game.
Terrell Pryor connecting 24 yards. Dane Sanzenbacher, the third catch, 99 yards for Sanzenbacher. And here comes Aaron Petrie. He just drilled the left upright from 21 yards out of the hold of Sanzenbacher. This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt. A lot of leg, Aaron Petrie, and he will split the sticks officially from 47 yards to put 3 on the board. Final play of this first half. Jim Tressel and his Ohio State Buckeyes trying to shed the disappointment of a loss to USC last week. And for Aaron Opel, a lot to think about. Ohio State with a 24-0 lead. Don't go away. When we get back, we'll take you to the ESPN studios for Lowell Galindo and the crew with a look at the college football scene. The Ohio State Marching Band doing the world-renowned Script, Ohio to rave reviews, as always, here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Halftime as Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes with his 24-0 lead on the Toledo Rockets, who've been a bit shell-shocked here in the first half. The world of intercollegiate athletics lost a pioneer this past week. Let's pay tribute to the late Miles Brand. We are experiencing some technical issues with the piece that we certainly want to share with you regarding the life of Miles Brand, who passed away this past week. Michael Reggie, Doug Chapman, we are at halftime. We'll effort the Miles Brand tribute to you as we work to get that. Ohio State with this 24-0 lead. The 11th ranked Buckeyes with a very strong first half performance. Now let us again effort the tribute to the life of one of the pioneers in intercollegiate athletics, Miles Brand.
7 years of national reform and one historic decision. Miles Brand is remembered for raising standards at the NCAA and as president of Indiana University, enforcing his standards on Hall of Fame coach Bob Knight.
We have established tough, specific guidelines. This is a zero-tolerance policy.
I think Miles Brand deserves an enormous credit for finally being the person who said we will have standards of conduct that will be upheld by our employees. And if that expectation is not met, then I will enforce the penalty.
Brand put in place a strict policy for Knight's personal conduct, and then 4 months later, when Knight violated the policy, Brand fired him.
I notified him that he was being removed as basketball coach, effective immediately.
Within 2 years, Brand was selected as president of the NCAA, the first leader of that organization without a sports background. He took aim at the escalating arms race among big-money sports programs and the need to set specific academic standards and benchmarks for admission and scholarship grants. His reforms were not always popular.
I think the president of the school should be held responsible for the academic aspects of the school, the deans of the school.
In terms of the responsibility of a coach and a faculty member to work with students so that they get a good education, that is a shared responsibility.
Brand's drive for academic standards for athletes saw graduation rates, as measured by the NCAA, increase. Policy was driven by principle for this son of Brooklyn, who grew up watching Jackie Robinson and earned his PhD in philosophy. He sought to keep youth in college basketball free of professional influence and to continue the gender equity mandates of Title IX.
Sometimes they will cut men's sports, but blame it on women's sports. Title IX then becomes an excuse to cut men's sports.
He preached that athletics were an integral part of education, and managing that well, Miles Brand believed, reflects on American culture as a whole.
I think the purpose of college is that young men and women form values and life plans, and part of that educational experience is participating on teams, learning how to work to your maximum capacity. That's what college is all about, and that's what sports adds to that.
Indeed, a true pioneer, and we mourn the passing of Miles Brand. We'll be right back and give you an idea of how this first half unfolded. Ohio State with a 24-0 lead. Don't go away. Ohio State's Buckeyes, they needed an expression that made them feel good in the first half, and yes, they got that. They have a 24-0 lead on the Toledo Rockets. Hope you're enjoying, everybody. Delighted you're with us. Michael Regai with my partner, Doug Chapman. Offensively explosive. That's how Toledo has been during the first two football games of the year. But today it's flipped over to the Ohio State Buckeyes, over 300 yards of total offense, Doug. And for the most part, with his legs always, but even with the pass game today, Terrell Pryor has brimmed with confidence.
He's brimmed with confidence. He's throwing the ball extremely well, except for a few times when he's gotten some pressure on him. But for the most part, he's delivered the ball. On the receiving end has been Dane Sonsenbacher. They go up top to him early, 76 yards, running wide open, touchdown, huge play, momentum builder. And then you see Sonsenbacher in the slot, working the seam. Great pass by Terrell Pryor. Actually, he sees the safety over the top, the corner underneath, delivers the ball where only Sonsenbacher can get it. He's had a couple errant throws, but for the most part, he's really looked sharp this afternoon.
Sonsenbacher's been the go-to guy. 4 grabs for 122 yards and those 2 touchdowns. Now, on the flip side, Ohio State wanted to establish a run game as well. Terrell Pryor has been able to get out the edge and got that, but at times, both Boom Herron and Brandon Sade have made some things happen.
Yes, they have. They want to get the running game up and going because that helps out the passing game. And as you said, not a lot of huge runs, but very efficient runs, a lot of efficient first down runs. You see Boom Herron getting off tackle, making guys miss. The offensive line doing a great job. And you see the touchdown run right here. Good job out of the backfield by the running backs. Nothing big, but efficient runs. Keep the chains moving, keep the drives going.
For the Toledo Rockets, they'd like to be able to keep the chains moving and get some drives alive. Just 9.5 minutes of possession time for Aaron Opelt and the Rocket offense. Ohio State by 24. Welcome back to ESPN Plus College Football, presented by State Farm. Now, Jim Tressel and his Ohio State Buckeyes. This is the 9th year at the helm for the young man that played this college football as a quarterback in the early 70s. About 10 miles from here, Division III Baldwin Wallace for his legendary father, Lee Tressel. We take a look at the numbers in the first half. And Doug Chapman, I mentioned the time of possession, but everything one-sided. And Toledo not able to establish the run game, and Aaron Opelt just 10 of 25 in the first half.
And that's very unlike Aaron Opelt and what you've seen from him so far this season. 85 total yards and 8 yards on the ground. I mean, they have completely been shut down from top to bottom. They have no time to pass the football. There's no running lanes. They have not been able to get anything going against this Ohio State defense. They have to come out second half, establish and maintain a drive that gets some type of points, or this game could turn uglier than it already is.
All right, Alex Steigerwald has got the football on the tee at the 30-yard line. You ready for the second half of Ohio State and Toledo? Let's do that. This is Lamar Thomas from the 5 for Ohio State. Thomas through a seam. Nice return. Lamar Thomas says he'll work his way to the 36-yard line. 32-yard return for Lamar Thomas, a young man who's expected to be a big part of the pass game as a wideout. There's your quarterback comparison. Checkmark all Terrell Pryor in the first half.
Checkmark all Terrell Pryor, and it all starts because Terrell Pryor is getting protection from his offensive line. From the get-go, Opelt has been throwing balls while he's backpedaling, throwing balls while he's moving out of the pocket, has not been able to set up in the pocket. Terrell Pryor has had time to look downfield. His receivers are not being harassed at the line of scrimmage. They're running wide open. That's the difference in his numbers and Aaron Opelt's right now.
First play of the third quarter. Pryor now back in the pocket, going to load it up deep. In coverage, and it's broken up. He wanted wide out Duron Carter, that true freshman. And free safety Jermaine Robinson was stride for stride. Carter maybe had a bit of separation as Pryor's throw was broken up.
And that another decision by Pryor. He goes deep. A little bit of separation by Carter, but DeVere Posey was wide open on a comeback route, to his left, but he went for the home run ball. Throw the ball, pick up 15 yards. Not every play is going to be a touchdown. Once again, we talk about the development of Pryor. He does great things, then sometimes he does things that make you scratch your head.
The second down call, run the football, and Boom Herron is tracked down from behind. One of the linebackers very active. That's Bo Brudzinski, who wears number 48. There he is again, the son of Bob Brudzinski, the former Miami Dolphin. Nice hit from the backside as he got Herron to the ground.
And I'm sure in the locker room at halftime, Toledo's defensive line got an earful about getting off of blocks, getting in the gaps, and stopping the run. Do not get pushed off of that football. So I'm sure they're coming out, going to play charged up, and they've got to do something to change the way this game's been going.
So Boom Herron for a loss of a couple. Third down now and 12. Pryor with time. Terrell Pryor with a flag down. That throw is broken up and it's incomplete. He wanted DeVere Posey, but Jermaine Robinson will wait for the call now from referee Ron Tolbert. Should be a hold that's declined.
Holding. Offense, number 55. Penalties declined. Fourth down.
Andrew Miller, junior left tackle, the guilty party. We noticed, by the way, that Justin Boren missed a couple of series in the first half. That left guard for Ohio State is back in a football game. So, Doug, here's just your second punt of the afternoon as Toledo. They needed that. They got to stop and got off the field on Ohio State's first possession.
They really needed that, and right now they need a big play either from their special teams or on offense.
Well, they went after that as Ben Buchanan got it out of there. DeJuan Collins, the starting tailback with punt return duties, got a couple on his return. 34-yard boot, couple-yard return. This is one of the best starting operating positions that Aaron Opelt has had. Not the kind of first half that the senior quarterback expected.
I mean, you can see his vision every time he drops back. His vision is being impeded by a white jersey, and he's getting hit. He's being harassed the entire game. When a quarterback cannot even see downfield, it's impossible for him to deliver the football, no matter if your receiver is wide open or not. That's been the big issue for them in the first half.
This first play of Toledo's third quarter possession, that inside handoff to DeJuan Collins, give him 3. As Collins was hit by Dexter Larimore, 300-pound junior out of Maryville, Indiana. Here now, Toledo going to go quick again. They're going to go quick here like they did their last possession of the first half. Opelt coming middle. Danny Noble on the grab, the tight end, but he's going to be well short of the first down as Noble, those short crossing routes swallowed up by Ross Holman. Where's number 51, active linebacker?
He's been very active. They've been blitzing him a lot. He runs, he scrapes through the line of scrimmage, fills downhill in the A gap very, very well. He's a very active linebacker, but Toledo right now, I like the pace they're moving at. They're doing a better job protecting Opelt, and I like this drive so far.
All right, third down and 3. Line to make it the 46 for Aaron Opelt. Wants to go up top, and his throw is off the hands of Eric Page. Well, Page came out of his break, Doug. The football was there. Second time those two have not communicated properly.
And that's the second time, but those are the plays that you have to have. Once again, Eric Page, only a freshman, comes out a little slow out of his break, gets his head around a bit slow, but when he turns around, the difference between high school and college is and when you run out of your break in college, that ball's on you. In high school, that ball may just be released. Like I said, just a freshman, he's going to learn, but those are the plays that kill drives, and now they're punting.
8th punt of the afternoon for Bill Klaus. Hit this one a lot better. Ray Small will fair catch it at the 13-yard line, and that's where Ohio State will start. 43-yard punt. 8 possessions, 8 Toledo punts. Not what head coach Tim Beckman expected. Jim Tressel puts his offense back on the field when we get back. Beautiful, beautiful edifice, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that houses the history of rock and roll music, so special to the city of Cleveland, right here on the shores of Lake Erie. Hope you're having a special Saturday afternoon. Michael Regai, my partner Doug Chapman, and all of our ESPN crew, all Ohio State, as Terrell Pryor has been very, very good. He and his offense with a 24-0 lead, and whistles and flags fly on Pryor's handoff to Daniel Herron, and let's listen.
False start. Offensive right guard. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's big Brian Browning, who wears number 70. He came out of that stance a little bit early. You know, we were talking to Jim Tressel during the week at our teleconference about Terrell Pryor. And, you know, he said, Michael, Doug, we all, Terrell Pryor included, are still trying to figure out who we are and what we have offensively and what our identity is going to be.
And that's difficult for an offense. And so far, up until this game, they haven't done either pass or run the ball extremely efficiently. So I'm hoping this is their identity game where they really do find themselves.
Well, Pryor got hit from behind as he got tracked down. He tried to put a juke on as he ran quarterback draw, and he got popped before he got back to the original line of scrimmage. So just a couple of yard gain for Terrell Pryor.
And this is what you get with Terrell Pryor. He can stop, he can drop back, and he sees it and can get through so quick. You just want him to get up, get north and south, get down, slide. Don't take a lot of big shots, because you definitely don't want this young man going down. But he can definitely get out and make things happen once the pocket breaks down.
Defensive end Alex Johnson, who wears number 40, made the stop. So now this brings up 2nd down and 12. Just a sophomore, Terrell Pryor, but you know, when you play at a quarterback at Ohio State, what the expectations are. That throw is hauled in by tight end Jake Ballard, but Ballard was greeted right away as Toledo's hit came from Lester Richmond. Richmond, the strong safety, the only senior in that Rocket secondary.
And the defense for Toledo is not giving up. They're going to fight. They're going to keep trying to make plays. They're going to make Ohio State earn everything they have. It's offensively is where they have the problem. But right now, Toledo's doing what their coaches asked them to do. Keep everything in front of them. Don't allow the deep ball, something they did poorly in the first half. But they've looked solid right here so far early in the second half.
Pryor 7-10 on 3rd down. Pocket collapses. Terrell Pryor, open space, first down, whole lot more. Pryor running free into Toledo territory down to the 41-yard line. There, the explosiveness, a 44-yard 3rd down jaunt. He got a couple of terrific blocks from his receiving core.
And this is something that they cannot coach a young man like Terrell Pryor. This is God-given ability to pull the football down and just make guys miss and run by people. He makes it look so effortless. He's so tall. He's a long strider, but he is really, really moving on that field. Great block on the perimeter by the wide receiver. Great run by Terrell Pryor.
All right, back to that run game as operating strong off that right tackle, Boom Herron. He followed the block of J.B. Shugarts, who was into the starting lineup today because of the injury to Jim Cordell, the normal starting right tackle. Yeah, back to our conversation too. Jim Tressel was saying again about trying to find identity. So, you know, guy, he's still very young. This is his 15th career start. But you know, Jim Tressel continuing to say it's going to have to evolve for everything and everybody. And right back to the carry from Boom Herron. He got a couple to the 35. Doug, though, when you lose to graduation to the NFL, Beanie Wells, Brian Robisky, you know, Brian Hartline, these are talents that you know aren't easy to replace, and were a comfort zone for a true freshman quarterback in Terrell Pryor last year.
Not only were they a comfort zone, they were upperclassmen. And when you come in as a freshman and you've got guys that are juniors, seniors, older than you, that are already playmakers at that position, have established themselves, you just kind of have to come out and direct things, get the ball to your playmakers, and it makes your job a bit easier. Now he is one of the playmakers. He's the focal point of the offense. So it's got to be a big year for Pryor.
On 3rd and 5, he'll gun that dart, and he's got connection with Ray Small. Small, the first down, the young man from Glenville High School right here in the city of Cleveland. Good throw on the numbers from Pryor.
You know, and once again, no jam on the wide receivers from Toledo. I know they respect the size and maybe the speed difference that they have with Ohio State, but you have got to get your hands. You've got to play some type of bump and run coverage. You cannot allow a good receiver to run through the field scot-free, because then he looks great.
Ohio State in the red zone. Pryor fires toward the end zone. It is caught by DeVere Posey. Posey ran that in right on the seam as he went to work again on cornerback Daxton Swanson, true freshman.
Once again, just simple pitch and catch. Receivers run in scot-free, comes right in, comes across. Terrell Pryor puts the football right on the numbers. Like I said, this young man can throw the football. Has a strong arm. It's just sometimes his mechanics get away from him, but when he does make mechanically sound throws, they're very nice passes, and they get to the receiver.
Goal line offense, give it to Boom Herron. He powers near the goal line and got thrown back. No signal yet, and he did not get in. They're going to mark that inside the 1 and call it second down as Herron got denied before he hit the goal line.
And I don't see a true goal line back on this Ohio State team. Herron's about 190, Sane around roughly the same size. But last year they had a guy in Beanie Wells who was 225, 230 pounds, and you give him the ball at the 1, they're kicking an extra point right now.
Got big Zach Boren in, the brother of Justin. Terrell Pryor will wedge his way into the end zone. Touchdown. Pryor and Ohio State. Call it a 1-yard touchdown. Keep for Terrell Pryor behind the block of Michael Brewster to bump the lead now to 30-0.
6'6", 235 pounds. He needs an inch. He's going to get it just with his length alone. Toledo has not had any answers for Ohio State on defensively. They have not been able to stop them consistently this entire afternoon. It's been a rough day for Toledo.
4th PAT for Aaron Petrie out of the hold of Dane Zanzenbacher, and Petrie will connect, and Terrell Pryor has had a pretty fine afternoon. He's got the end zone from a yard away. Big Ohio State lead. Now the sights and sounds of a glorious September Saturday. College football presented by State Farm. Great to have you part of it on ESPN. The Ohio State Buckeyes cap off their final drive on the legs of Terrell Pryor. Doug, this was a 3rd and 5, and Toledo let him out the back door.
They let him out the back door, but I like what Terrell Pryor did on the last drive. He just lets the game come to him, and his athletic ability, it will allow him to exploit what the defense gives him. Right then they give him the hole. He puts the ball on the receiver, and then he uses that big frame to sneak in for the touchdown. Terrell Pryor is a dynamic football player. He just sometimes rushes things, and that's with youth. He's a sophomore, his first full year as a starter. If he just allows the game to come to him, let the play happen, and just use his God-given ability, he could be one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Now, Jim Tressel, even he was asking. He felt good about how his football team responded on the practice field at Columbus. And that was a devastating loss. Very disheartening loss to USC, as Ohio State has now gone to 0-6 in the last half dozen against the elite in college football. All right, on this kick return, that's DeJuan Collins for Toledo, and he will bust free. And once again, you see that flag from the umpire. This is the 2nd fine kickoff return today for Toledo that's going to come back.
During the return, holding by the return team, number 86, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Toledo.
And I understand guys want to get their block and they want to block hard, but you've got to be smart out there. You have to know if you're beat, don't grab a guy. You're down 30, you're down by 31 points. Okay, you can't afford to have plays like this. And you see grabs reach around and they see that jersey, they see that number snatched around. If you got a single-digit number and it's all the way on the right side of your body, the referee is going to see that and call it every time.
So Aaron Opelt, what would have been this drive to start for their own 45, instead starts it for their own 20. Toledo has not gotten beyond their own 43-yard line today. Says Jeff Gears, our man with all the numbers upstairs here in the booth. Opelt underneath route, tight end Danny Noble will make the grab, but Brian Roll will put him to the ground. Good hit by Roll at the 26-yard line after a gain of 6. I like Brian Roll. He's very active, young man from the state of Florida.
Oh yeah, very, very active. Like the whole linebacking core is very active, and they have big shoes to fill with the departure of guys like Laurinaitis, everything linebacker they had here. But the linebacking core has done a good job today, blitzing, played the run tough, got back good in their passing. dropped very well and made it very difficult for Opel.
Bubble screen. It is caught, hauled in, secured by Eric Page. Page looked like he was on the practice field there. How we're all taught catch and tuck. He had a couple slide through his hands. But that young kid's going to be a good one, the true freshman.
He's going to be a good one. Very kind of a smaller guy, a quicker receiver. You see, as soon as he catches it, he puts it right away. He's dropped 2 first downs that could have moved the chains, and I'm sure he heard it on the sideline, but he looked that one in, picks up some nice yardage, and picks up the first down.
Yep, first down Rockets. A young man from Springfield High School. That's right near the city of Toledo. Now the ground game, and this is Morgan Williams. Williams missed the first 2 games of the year, 195-pound sophomore. As you see, getting off the bottom of that pile for the Ohio State Buckeyes was John Simon on the stop. Morgan Williams, though, remember had the big year last year, being in the Central Michigan Toledo game, and how good he and DeJuan Collins were. But Williams just getting his first sign of duty here in Game 3.
And you see they've got him out wide. You know, when you have 2 good backs in your team, that's a great problem for an offensive coordinator. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. In college football now, you need 2 guys that can get the job done.
Look out, Opel's throw almost got picked off. Boy, the heat was coming. I just told you about Brian Roll, who wears number 36. That's scarlet number 36 on the white Ohio State jersey. He was putting some serious heat on Aaron Opel.
And what a difference pressure makes. Last week versus Colorado, Opel over 300 yards, had all day to survey the field and get the ball downfield. Today, not so much. Ohio State has done a great job, not just getting pressure, but getting hits on Opel, and that really rattles a quarterback and can change his performance drastically.
Oh, yeah, good point, partner. This is 3rd and 12 for Opel. He's going to air it out and go deep for Stephen Williams. Had the football in his hand. That's the 2nd time he and Chimdi Chekwa have been one-on-one out on the edge of the field, and Chimdi Chekwa has won them both as he broke that up.
And that's just a great play by Chekwa, not getting too aggressive. Basically the same as when a center fielder just keeps backing up for a pop fly. Back up, keep the defender in front of you, and when he goes up, break the pass up. Great play by Chekwa. He knows they have to get something vertical. Instead of coming off and trying to check the man and jam him to the line of scrimmage, just play off of him, let him come to you. Great play by the defensive back.
9th possession, 9th punt for the Toledo Rockets, and it almost got blocked. As Klaus got that away, Ray Small will signal for the fair catch. Ohio State's punt team came after one as Kurt Coleman, along with Nate Oliver, almost got a piece of the Toledo punt. Truly talented and very excited production team here in the state of Ohio. Can you imagine all the ESPN crew being able to be around Brutus Buckeye on a Saturday afternoon like this? We're a tremendous crowd of 75,000 here as Ohio. There's Brutus, feeling a lot better than the Scarlet and Gray Legions did last Saturday night, to be sure, as Terrell Pryor and this Ohio State offense has put up 416 yards of total O through 2.5 quarters of offensive football. Out of the eye, Brandon Sane is going to be dragged down from behind. Sane got taken down by Doug Westbrook. Westbrook's already got, there's Westbrook. He's got 3 interceptions this year. Doug Chapman, defensive end, tied for the lead in the nation with 3 picks coming into today.
Yeah, very rarely do you see a defensive end with those type of numbers, but that just shows how active he is. And to touch on what you said earlier, 416 yards of offense from Ohio State. Terrell Pryor has 328 of those yards by himself. He's run for over 100 yards, thrown for over 220. They're just getting the job done right now and having their way with Toledo.
Yeah, well, exclamation point was that lightning bolt on 3rd and 5 when he came out the back door. Now Pryor wanted to put it up, but flags, whistles, probably motion on the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ball start. Offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And then on top of the performance you're seeing here, you know, if you're a fan watching the game, you're like, Ohio State is doing well. But if you're a coach for Ohio State, you can't be happy with the amount of penalties that you've had for your team. I'm sure they're going to be happy with the way they performed in the yardage and the individual performances, but as a coach, I guarantee you this will be a point throughout the week, is to cut down on the penalties, because these will hurt you when you get into your tougher schedule.
You see that over Terrell Pryor in the end zone. The midnight blue and gold still trying to rally up the Toledo Rockets. Pryor's throw got picked off, intercepted by Andreas Ashwood. Ashwood, he read the eyes of Terrell Pryor, jumped that route. Ashwood, the sophomore, has got the INT. This will be Toledo's best field position of the day off the pick by Ashwood.
And these are just things that come with the development of Terrell Pryor, not stepping into it, and also throwing the ball where the receiver is double covered. You can't put that much air underneath a corner route like that. Little things he does, telegraphing his throws, watching his receivers. Those are the small parts of his game that can be fixed, because the upside to him is extremely great. It's just the little things he does sometimes results in poor plays.
Partner Aaron Opelt must be saying, this is what Ohio State territory looks like today.
Yeah, this is their first time getting over there.
Yeah, as we said, their deepest progression had been their own 43-yard line. They had a couple of big kickoff returns called back. Opelt, blitz coming. He'll connect and throw the strike to young Eric Page, the true freshman. Got a couple as Page crossed, and Opelt hit him 2nd and 8.
And he's not getting much time. You know, if you look at the quick delivery of Opelt, he's not even looking to think he has the extra 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds in the pocket to deliver the football deep through the middle of the field, because, hey, the pressure has been in his face so much that he hasn't had the time to even look that direction.
The view, as you saw, behind the sweater vest of Jim Tressel. Opelt gonna air it deep. We had contact there with Jermail Hines and Eric Page. Doug, that play is designed to provide a little trickery. Opelt looks like he's starting pure option right, then pulls it back and wanted to find Page on the sideline.
And then the purpose of running that play is to try to suck the linebackers down to kind of open the middle of the field up. And it didn't work. It looked like there was a little confusion on the route by Toledo, and ends up being an incomplete pass.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Now the line to make down at the 27-yard line. Motion from Eric Page. Opelt stepping up, and down he goes. Second time, Ohio State. Cameron Hayward out of Sewanee, Georgia. Big 287-pound junior. Tracked down Opelt and got him on the ground with a sack.
And he steps back. Oh, you see Opelt, he scans the field. It looks good for a second. He steps into the pocket, but he gets pressure from the outside. Good job by the big fella Hayward on the edge, getting in there, making a play.
10th possession, 10th punt of the football for Toledo's Rockets. Well, this is, exactly if you could script what you didn't want to take place for Toledo in all phases, it's happened today. Klaus will hang that kick high. Ray Small wants to receive with a fair catch. Bobbled it momentarily, but got back on it.
Punter's getting a great workout today.
Last week, the Toledo Rockets were in blast-off mode, and quarterback Aaron Opelt entered the game leading the nation in passing yardage. Touchdown throw to Danny Noble there. Opelt with a dive into the end zone, threw for 319 yards. Big hook up to Eric Page, the senior. Also ran for a career-high 109 yards on 8 carries, totaled 428 yards of O. Defensively, look at the Rockets swarm. They forced 4 Cody Hawkins and Colorado turnovers. They had 3 sacks, and they got Tim Beckman his first win as a head coach in college football. Beat Colorado 54-38. As that first down call for Brandon Sane. And there's a good look at Tim Beckman. But of course, Rocket fans are wondering, wish that some of that we just showed, Doug Chapman, could have been bottled and capped and brought here to Cleveland against Ohio State.
Well, what you just showed was momentum. Offense is a momentum deal. Guys have to start making plays, and you get some confidence, you get a little bit of swagger, then it becomes something that's contagious. They have never been able to get their offense up and running today to even develop any of that momentum. No big plays. Nothing's been going for them well. Pryor
trying to get out of coverage, threw the football late, and that was a complete mismatch. You had 4 receivers in the same area. Pryor would not go to the ground as he was getting out of tackles of Malcolm Riley and that front 4.
And I'm telling you, he is such a gifted athlete. Throw the ball away, young man. Throw that football away. Don't throw that ball where it can be picked off. You threw that ball across your body in the traffic. Just throw it away. He has to understand that he can't make every single play.
Well, you know, when receivers saw Pryor getting out of the pocket, they were coming back to him. But, Doug, there were 4 Ohio State receivers within about an 8-yard area of one another. All right, let's call it 3rd down now. And 8 as Pryor wants to go up top. Again, throwing the football on his way down, and that dart was caught by Deron Carter as Pryor got it away, but it's going to be a couple yards short of the first down sticks, and Ohio State will get the punt team on to boot it away.
And it's a good way. Toledo's getting some pressure. They're finding a way to get back there. They have to harass Terrell Pryor a little bit. Don't let him get comfortable, and also contain and corral him so he can't scramble around and make big plays with his feet. Good job by Toledo getting to him, forcing the errant pass, and not allowing them to pick up the first down.
Yeah, let me check that, by the way. It was 8 DeVere Posey and not Deron Carter on that catch. Driving boot from Ben Buchanan. Buchanan in for the ill John Toma today, and DeJuan Collins will accept that fair catch as we come to just a minute and 16 left in quarter number 3. I want to remind all of you, stay with us 7 days from now as more exciting Mid-America Conference football comes your way. Next Saturday from Philly, Buffalo coach Turner Gill leads a charge of his Bulls. Naaman Roosevelt, that terrific receiver in the Lincoln Financial Field, to square off against Al Golden and his Temple Owls in their East Coast offense. They're at Happy Valley at Penn State today. All the action kicks off September the 26th. All right, so Morgan Williams on that call there as we get you back to live action. Morgan Williams got 7, and we'll call it 2nd down and 3 as Aaron Opelt empties out the backfield and tries to go real quick with his offense.
I mean, they don't have a choice right now. They've got to try to get some type of points and get them in a hurry to at least make this game respectable.
Opelt will gun his throw, and it was batted down as it was slapped down around the line of scrimmage as knocking the football to the ground for Ohio State was Garrett Goebel, the true freshman out of Villa Park, Illinois. Where's number 53?
Right now, Michael, what kind of plays do you dial up if you're Toledo? I mean, you've tried everything, and nothing works. I mean, they have tried everything and have not had any success against this Ohio State defense.
No, you're right. They've tried to go vertical in the seam. They've tried to go deep on the sidelines to Williams. A lot of short crossing stuff, but Ohio State very secure. Swing it out to Morgan Williams looking for a block. He got a first down over the 40-yard line. So Morgan Williams with that first down as Ohio State saw Williams get to the sticks. It was Melvin Fellows who made the stop, a young man from here in the Cleveland area from Garfield Heights. Anderson Russell in as well.
Nice pickup. Looks like Morgan Williams is a better receiver than DeJuan Collins, so he's been on the field a little bit more in this second half. But they're going to go with the spread. The offensive line is doing a better job protecting Opelt. Let's see if they can get some points out of this.
Opelt deep out, well over the head of his intended receiver Kenny Stafford, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
And there's once again him not trusting the pocket, him not sitting back there and trusting he's not going to get pressure, and he delivers a bad football because he's had so much pressure in his face, has not had time to throw. So when he does get time, he's shocked and ends up throwing a bad ball.
Could be the final play of the 3rd quarter with only 5 ticks left. Four wide receiver package for Aaron Opelt. And now with a play clock at 1, he is going to call a timeout.
Charge timeout. Toledo. This is a 30-second timeout.
The senior quarterback did not like what he was looking at, or the personnel package that he had on the football field maybe did not fit what the call was.
Well, a lot of times with the spread offense, they'll change the play 2 to 3 times at the line of scrimmage, and you see the quarterback and the receivers will all look to the sideline where the guy from their sideline is calling the plays in, and they seem to be confused about what the play call was. The clock got low, forced to burn a timeout, but nothing is going well for Toledo today.
That's 75,000, plenty of scarlet and gray, a lot of midnight blue and gold. Delighted you're a part of it, along with our ESPN production crew doing an outstanding job. Greg Logan, our producer, Dave Taska, director, Tim Mays, TD, Tom Moshenik handling our graphics, all of the great crew. Doug Chapman's here. I'm Michael Regai. As Ohio State has rolled to this impressive lead, and they have completely stifled Toledo and their high-powered offense. Play action for Opel. Got a seam route and delivered that throw right on time. Playing pitch and catch with Danny Noble. And that is a Toledo first down, and that also is the final play of quarter number 3. The Patriot Bowl here in downtown Cleveland. Ohio State behind Terrell Pryor's brilliance with a 31-0 lead. Fourth quarter next. Ohio State's Buckeyes with a very strong first 45 minutes. They've completely stifled the Toledo Rockets with this 31-0 lead. Hope you're enjoying this afternoon. Welcome to our home here in the broadcast location downtown Cleveland. Michael Regai with my partner Doug Chapman. Jim Trussell told us this week there's always heavy expectations to win every football game when you're part of the Ohio State program. We wondered about a hangover for them, Doug, how they would be psychologically. They've answered the test. They've answered their critics.
They've answered the test very, very well. I don't see any form of a hangover. Looks like they got over that football game, that loss last week to USC pretty well, and they've come out and been very, very dominant. Besides a couple bad throws here, a few penalties, they've looked very, very crisp on both sides of the football, especially defensively.
They've really swarmed defensively. Aaron Opelt and this Toledo offense, again, just for the second time today now, on the Ohio State side of the football field. All right, Opelt, that misdirection reverse, and this is Morgan Williams. Williams got 8. So first time today, Doug, we see Morgan Williams now, his first game action here. Misdirection off that inside handoff. Toledo has not run the ball today at all.
They started off with DeJuan Collins, and he didn't have a lot of success. No one had success on offense for Toledo. They put in Williams. He seems to be a little bit a quicker guy, a little change of pace. And they're pulling out all the stops. They've opened up their offensive playbook wide open, probably to the last page, and they're trying to run any play that has any type of success against this Ohio State defense.
Opel will come underneath. He's got his tight end, Danny Noble, and that's a first down. Kurt Coleman, Dayton Northmont High School, with a secure hit to take Noble down, but not before. That throw nets in the moving of the chains. First down, Toledo.
And Toledo, they've got to get something out of this. They can't come up with this. Can't be an empty drive. Another one. They can ill afford to punt, turn the ball over, but they have to get something out of this drive. They've got to get something going.
Opelt's operating with 3 wide receivers and Morgan Williams, who is offset with him. Aaron Opelt came in today leading the nation in total offense. Run the football with Morgan Williams, and he got greeted rudely by Brian Roll along with Ross Holman. The 2 linebackers, Roll and Holman, will stop Morgan Williams. Start of the fourth quarter in West Lafayette, Ross-Ade Stadium. The Huskies of Northern Illinois, Jerry Kill and his ball club, with a 14-point 2-touchdown lead on Purdue. Another Mid-American Conference Big Ten battle today. Eastern Michigan at Michigan today as well. We'll check on that. Temple at Penn State today. Opel, option pitch. Collins with a seam. Running hard is DeJuan Collins inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Collins was ushered out of bounds by Brian Roll and Anderson Russell of Ohio State.
Anderson Russell's another guy, a strong safety that likes to play around the line of scrimmage. Very, very ferocious hitter. Very active young man. Him and the linebacking core have done a good job today stopping the run and not allowing any big plays via the run.
All right, this is the deepest progression offensively today with the football at the 27-yard line of Ohio State. It took into quarter number 4 for it to happen. Opelt, step up, Page made the grab inside the 5. Football came out, and Ohio State is on the football as Eric Page was a step from the goal line, got popped, and looked like if he had just taken momentum, he'd have been in the end zone. Turnover, Toledo.
And it's just been that type of game for Toledo. It's just been that type of game. Nothing has been going their way. They're gonna review this, I'm sure, but it looks like his left knee may have been down before the ball came out. It's hard to tell. But if you were right, Michael, if he'd have just kept his momentum going, he'd have been down either at the 1 or in the end zone. And you see
Kurt Coleman rips it out. Ross Holman got on the football, but Doug, this is under review.
I'm going to go with a fumble on this one. It looks like the ball is, his knee actually really doesn't, he turns more. He doesn't go straight down. So the side of his knee was the first to hit, but by the time it did, look like the ball was already out. I'm going to think this is going to be Ohio State football.
This is the first review we have had today, early in the fourth quarter. And again, it was Kurt Coleman. Kurt Coleman, I think, is one of the finest strong safeties in college football. The young man from Dayton Northmont High School wears number 4 for Ohio State.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st and 10, Ohio State at the 20-yard line.
Big play. That's a big defensive play from Kurt Coleman. Not in the sense of it's a game changer, given it's a 31-0 lead, but that kind of play on the goal line is excellent. Coleman with a rip away, Holman recovering.
And it's been that type of day for Ohio State's defense and that type of day for Toledo's offense. Not able to capitalize on anything, and you see Aaron Opelt's reaction of just, can anything else go wrong for us today? It's been one of those days. It's going to be a lot of film watched on this. It's going to be a lot to learn from this football game by Toledo.
Yeah, Jim Tressel's defense. The senator loves that Jim Tressel. Now back to work is Terrell Pryor, and his first down throw is a strike as he's got his favorite target, Dane Sanzenbacher. Only a 3-yard gain there. But Sanzenbacher today, wow. That's his 6th grab for Sanzenbacher for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And him and Terrell Pryor seem to have really good rapport in the passing game. That seems to be his comfort zone, his go-to receiver.
Yeah, the true freshman tailback is in now, Jordan Hall, and this is Hall on the carry, and he'll explode through that crease on the left side. He followed the blocks of Andrew Miller and Justin Bourne. First down. Jordan Hall, a high school teammate with Terrell Pryor from Jeanette, Pennsylvania.
It's a very good program, very good team they have with those 2 young men on the team. And I'm sure that it provides a little bit of comfort turning around and handing the football off to somebody that you used to hand it off to in high school.
Oh, yeah. Well, right back to Hall, not this time. That is a terrific play around the line of scrimmage by Maurice Hall, who wears number 98. Maurice Hill, excuse me, 285-pound senior up front for Tim Beckman's defense.
And I'm sure Coach Beckman and the rest of the Toledo staff wants to see from his defense who's still fighting. He doesn't want to see guys just giving up. Who's going to still fight? Fourth quarter, when you're down, it looks like it's impossible you're going to win the football game. He just wants to see who's going to still fight, who's going to still make plays and keep on scrapping until that last whistle sounds.
2nd and 15. Pryor will keep this play alive. And still alive. Terrell Pryor dances over the 30-yard line. Got back around the original line of scrimmage. But, you know, he is a nightmare to track down from the backside from pressure.
And what I like about this is watch his eyes. He never takes his eyes from downfield. Like I said, there's little things in the process of the development of Terrell Pryor. Once again, first year as a starter, just a true sophomore, not a redshirt sophomore. So there's going to be things that he has to learn. And I like that right there. Not a big play, did nothing fancy, but he kept his head downfield, looking for a receiver. There was nothing there, steps out of bounds. Smart play by him, and that's just things he's going to have to learn in his development process.
Now Pryor will step up, throws as he's hit, and that throw is caught. Pryor threw that deep out, and he found Ray Small on the grab.
And you watch Terrell Pryor, they haven't done a lot of this, but they do get pressure on him. You know, he's looking downfield, lets the ball go. Now, this is a ball a lot of quarterbacks won't throw with a man hanging off of him, but when you have a receiver running that wide open, he just leads the receiver, lets the ball go, lets Small run underneath it, picks up a big chunk of yardage, moves the chains.
3rd and long conversion for Terrell Pryor as this Ohio State offense rolls toward 500 yards. Jordan Hall, that's a sweet move on the cutback. He got 10 and another first down. Jordan Hall, very shifty in the hole, Doug Chapman.
Smaller running back, very shifty, just a freshman, comes in, you know, gives a little bit of spark to this offense. They're still trying to find themselves in the running game, so whoever can get in there and get the hot hand, they definitely would love that.
You see the numbers on Terrell Pryor. As we said, this Ohio State offense now very close to 500 yards of total. Pryor has accounted for 368 of it with his arm and with his legs. Out of the spread, Jordan Hall. Hall with another burst off the left side. Hall's got close to 10 more as he's down near the 20-yard line.
And you know, right now, that size advantage for Ohio State across the front is just wearing down Toledo. You look at their front line, they've got 300-pounders. Toledo doesn't even have a 300-pounder on their defensive line. And they're just opening up holes and moving Toledo off of the football.
Now, young Jordan Hall has been most effective on his work carrying the football. 2nd and short. Again, Hall. He's got the edge. First down. Jordan Hall with a burst inside the 5-yard line. This crowd responding to the true freshman tailback. Again, the former Terrell Pryor high school teammate, Jordan Hall.
And you've got to think right now, Toledo's defense has been on the field a lot this afternoon. Offense has not been able to do much. Defense has been asked to do a lot. They've got a very tough job in front of them. But Hall makes it look easy. The offensive lineman open up a nice hole. He sees the crease. The young freshman gets through it, picks up a nice gain, moves them into the 4-yard line.
Ohio State will run out of the I now. 1st and goal from the 4. Jordan Hall stays a tailback. And with the carry, he got knifed down. He tried to make that cutback and got knifed down, did Jordan Hall. As that hit for the Toledo Rockets came from Robert Bell.
And Robert Bell doesn't stay blocked. He comes off of a block, fills the gap, and makes a nice play on the running back. There hasn't been a lot of this for Toledo today, but there have been a couple bright spots on defense where guys have made plays for the Rockets.
We come toward the 7-minute mark here in this dominant performance for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Play action Pryor. Look at end zone. His throw is batted away beautifully. It was intended for Jake Ballard and Lester Richmond, the strong safety. That's a pretty defensive play as he cut in front of Jake Ballard and slapped that football to the ground.
Very nice play. A lot of defenders sometimes leave their feet and just lay out and come up a little short. He runs through where the ball is going. Great job breaking it up. Like I said, these guys are still fighting. There's guys in Toledo that are still fighting. They're not just going to give up, just let Ohio State just do what they want. They're going to play until the final whistle.
Lester Richmond, outstanding senior strong safety. 3rd and goal for the 4. Right, look end zone, and that throw is caught. Touchdown, DeVere Posey.
Great job, back shoulder fade. Great throw by Terrell Pryor. Great route, great catch by DeVere Posey, and that just shows that They're giving too much cushion to these receivers. See Terrell Pryor drop, puts it right on the back shoulder. Actually, Posey pirouettes a bit, but great play. It's just been one of those days today. Everything has been working for Ohio State, and not much has been working for Toledo.
Another 80-yard drive as the offensive superlatives just continue to mount for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Aaron Petrie will add his fifth PAT of the afternoon, and Ohio State trying to erase the memories and the lingering pain of the loss to number 3 USC. Terrell Pryor, third touchdown throw of the afternoon. Terrell Pryor has looked extremely comfortable, and again, yes, shaking away all that ailed the Ohio State offense against USC. Let's take a look at our safe auto play of the game. It was early, the home run ball from Terrell Pryor to Dane Sanzenbacher. 1-800-SAFE AUTO, where they keep you legal for less. Sanzenbacher, big day, 2 touchdown catches. DeVere Posey just caught his first touchdown throw of the year from Terrell Pryor, who has been high octane for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
He's been high octane, and one thing that I've noticed from this game is, besides them shaking off last week's loss to USC, I think that this game was a confidence booster, especially for them on offense, especially for Terrell Pryor, that he can drop back. Yes, it was against Toledo, but he can drop back and throw the football. There's things for him to learn about in the passing game, but I think this is a big confidence builder for Ohio State offensively.
All right, this is DeJuan Collins from the 10-yard line on that kick return. We got another flag, which from thrown by the back judge is probably for a block in the back. All right, let's take a look at our State Farm Impact Players. The Impact Players have performed this way. It's brought to you by State Farm. Stephen Williams hadn't gotten on track today. One of the top kickers in the nation, Alex Steigerwald, has not been on the foot. Barry Church has been impactful. 12 hits, 1 tackle for loss for the Toledo Rockets. Those your State Farm Impact Players on the Toledo side.
And there needed to be more impact players making an impact on offense, because offensively for Toledo it's one of those games you want to forget. I mean, it's just one of those games as a player you just want to forget and move past, but it's been a rough outing for Aaron Opelt and company.
Next 2 on the road for Toledo at Florida International, and then to begin MAC play at Ball State. Opelt will throw the bubble screen to DeJuan Collins. And he got tracked down from the backside as that hit came from Solomon Thomas, who wears number 98, big sophomore. Doug, at this point, if you're Tim Beckman in Toledo, maybe it's going to be the final time. You'd love a feel-good drive that could put points on the board, wouldn't you?
You'd love something. You'd love to see your kids fight and continue to put something together so they can. Every football game, whether you win or lose in this sport, you learn something from it. And yes, they're on the losing end of this, but if they can put together a drive, they can learn something about themselves as a team, how they face adversity, and also to give them a little bit of confidence next week to know that even against a team like Ohio State, we can move the football. But they've got to get something done as a team right now on offense.
Now that'll work. That's something done. Opelt on that circle route out of the backfield as he guns a strike to DeJuan Collins. That'll move the sticks. First down, Toledo. Ohio State next week starts Big Ten play back home against Juice Williams and the Fighting Illini of Ron Zook in Illinois.
And hopefully Aurelius Ben is healthy for that game.
Yeah.
You know, he's been a little nicked up, but they're going to see a good quarterback in Juice Williams. He's electrifying, can get the job done with his legs and with his arms, so should be a lot of fun to watch that one.
He had a bit of a disappointment so far for the Fighting Illini as they got belted by Missouri. Now back to the ground game. DeJuan Collins trying to battle his way. Good tough run for Collins. He got about 5 out to the 40-yard line. And, all right, I mentioned next week Illinois, and then it's on the road at Indiana. In the next 4 weeks, home to Wisconsin, and then a trip to West Lafayette, Indiana. So next couple of road trips to the state of Indiana against the Hoosiers and Boilermakers.
And all 4 of those games are winnable games. Those are games that they should win.
Sure. Now you figure they may run the table to the first Saturday in November when they go to Happy Valley.
Right, and that's going to be their first real test besides the USC game. That's going to be their first in-conference test, though.
Opelt, deep seam throw, and it is caught. Aaron Opelt got what he wanted there. They've tried that a couple of times today. Tim Cortazzo, a 180-pound sophomore. Cortazzo getting in the pass game and caught the big first down throw.
And that's a combination of Opelt getting a little bit of time and some confusion. Looks like they did not stop. They did not impede the receiver's progress. He was able to run vertically and ended up catching a nice pass.
Flags whistle stopped that on the snap. Let's listen to Ray Torbert, the referee.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Mike Vandermeulen. Let's go back to the Tim Cortazzo catch. Classic seam route, Doug.
Classic seam route. Getting in front of the safety. And then I like the ball that Opelt throws. He protects his receiver. Don't lead that guy into that safety back there. Put it behind him. Let him catch it low, get down. Big chunk of yardage picked up, but don't get your guy knocked out.
It's the third straight trip into Ohio State territory for Toledo. They weren't there in their first 7 possessions today. DeJuan Collins, not much there as he tried to work the middle. And Ohio State got that put down. You see some of the backups now, second unit players like Tom Ingham from Centerville, who wears number 57 on the football field. Also Andrew Sweat. Sweat is a very promising linebacker, 220-pounder. Sweat from Pennsylvania. We come inside the 4-minute mark on this second and long for Toledo. Opelt. His throw was too tall for tight end Danny Noble.
And Danny Noble, I'm glad he didn't try to go up for that ball because Johnson was coming off the hash and would have decapitated him if he hit him. It's just you see the younger guys for Ohio State are getting in, but they're still doing the same thing that the first stringers did, and that's play smart defense, not letting anything really get behind you, and trying to kind of keep Toledo at bay.
Yeah, young man you're speaking of is Orion Johnson. He's number 19, one of the second unit secondary youngsters. True freshman out of St. Petersburg. So many true freshmen now. Redshirt freshmen dotting the squads. Toledo took a timeout. Their second timeout of the second half with a little bit less than 4 minutes to go. Rockets trying to get on the board and avoid the shutout for Tim Beckman here in Cleveland. This afternoon's Ohio State-Toledo game was brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, where they keep you legal for less. With Doug Chapman, I'm Michael Regai here on the shores of Lake Erie. It's an absolutely fabulous Saturday afternoon. Nothing but blue skies and sunshine and temperature in the mid-60s. And the Scarlet and Gray of Ohio State have rolled today, up 38-0. This is a 3rd now and 13 for Aaron Opelt. Opelt off play action. In trouble, a lot of trouble, and he is popped and taken down. That big Ohio State sack from Nathan Williams, a 245-pound sophomore backup defensive end.
You know, and they call a timeout before they go into this play and to try to dial up something here, but the pressure from Ohio State just eliminates anything they try to do. Opelt is a good quarterback, but when you have a quarterback that's throwing from his back, throwing backpedaling, and cannot see downfield, it takes away from everything he does, and they're forced once again to punt the football.
The 11th punt in their 11 possessions today for the Toledo Rockets. And Bill Klaus will have this settle down inside the 20-yard line. So with less than 3 minutes left, the Ohio State Buckeyes will have the football one more time with their huge 4th quarter lead. The 11th ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State have made their second journey to the city of Cleveland up I-71 from the Columbus campus in about 18 years, and they've been, yes, impactful as we take a look at how our impact players have performed. Brought to you by State Farm. To them, nothing's more important than being there. Impact players have been impactful and at times sensational, Doug Chapman.
And sensational starts with Sanzenbacher. 5 catches, 126 yards, 2 TDs. He's really been Terrell Pryor's best friend. Brian Roll's been very, very disruptive. 8 solo stops, 6 assists. And then Dan Herron, nothing spectacular, but he's been efficient in the running game, helping his team move the chains. It looks like to me Ohio State has found their identity as maybe a passing team instead of a lining up and run it down your throat team. Like they may go to the air now a lot more than running the ball.
All right, Joe Bauserman is in, the 220-pound sophomore out of Strasburg, Virginia. Of course, he's a former minor league baseball player. Ohio State's had, shall we say, a little bit older quarterbacks in their system the last few years. And Bauserman just hit that throw to backup tight end Jake Stoneburner. Bauserman rifles that and off the hands of wide receiver Lamar Thomas. I'll bring up a 2nd and 10. So Bauserman, the backup QB, 220-pound sophomore. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard today. Mid-American Conference versus Big Ten. Northern Illinois, with less than 2 minutes left, holding on to the 28-21 win over Purdue at Ross-Ade in West Lafayette. Central Michigan stunned Michigan State in East Lansing last week as Dan Lefevre was just tremendous in the 4th quarter. Bauserman shakes off a hit. Joe Bauserman got crunched by Archie Donald as he crossed the 35, about the 37-yard line, and this clock will continue to move underneath the 2-minute mark and bring up 3rd down.
And you start to see a lot of the reserves for Ohio State coming in now, and you see a lot of guys getting some action that usually don't. You can afford to do that when you have such a commanding lead on a team. So good to see guys that don't get the sniffle out of the field get out there and get their jerseys dirty a little bit.
Yeah, you got a lot of the young kids, you know, got to catch coaches' eyes on special teams all week long or on scout teams. Bauserman on 3rd down will step up and deliver that throw, and it was almost picked off. It was intended for Deron Carter and Daxton Swanson. Well, Tim Beckman very high on these. You know, they're freshmen and they got to grow up. But remember, Toledo starts 3 true freshmen in their secondary.
You know, and that's the thing in college football now. You know, now it's not uncommon for a freshman to come out and play right away. You know, not a lot of guys are redshirting because these kids are coming out of high school prepared to play. It's just sometimes they're not mentally prepared to be on the field. They're there physically, and that's where the experience comes in. And experience as a defensive back sometimes means getting burned a few times. That's the way you learn.
It's a fair catch from DeJuan Collins at the 20-yard line as Ben Buchanan boomed that punt. So 80 yards away and just 1:23 on the clock as Toledo tries to find something to get them on. This is a football team, folks, that one of the tops in the nation, came in averaging 42.5 points a game. Aaron Opelt was #1 in total offense at 437 yards per game, and none of it is translated today against Ohio State. Opelt now to fire, and he got picked off. Aaron Opelt had his throw picked off. And that pick came from Ohio State linebacker Andrew Sweat, backup from Pennsylvania.
And once again, it's just been that type of afternoon. Andrew Sweat, great job recognizing. He takes the proper drop as a linebacker, takes a peek to the flats, and then he recognizes, watches Opelt's eyes, follows his eyes, finds the football. Great play by the young man, but getting back to Toledo, it's been that type of afternoon. You said Aaron Opelt leading the nation in total offense, comes into this game and has been looking like just a regular guy out there. Ohio State's defense has done that good of a job today.
Bauserman off play action, and he wanted to throw that drag route to a freshman tight end, Jake Stoneburner. Fell incomplete. As you see the coverage from Toledo's Mark Singer. Ohio State will bounce back successfully from the stinging loss to USC, so they're going to go to 2-1. They fell out of the top 10 here after the loss last week. And for Toledo, as we said, a lot of work to be done for Tim Beckman before they go on the road to Florida International and also to Ball State the next couple of weeks. Well, that football came out of there on that second down carry, as Ohio State now working in running back Jamil Martin. He's a freshman from right here in Cleveland. So Martin, one of the many outstanding young talents here, Doug, that Cleveland high schools and high schools in the area produce, that Jim Tressel finds ways to get with him at Ohio State.
Well, Ohio in general, the state, it has a lot of great football players. High school football is big time out here, and you know, I went to college in West Virginia, right on the border, and we used to kind of keep an eye on the high school scene here in Ohio, and they've always produced a lot of great football players over the years.
Joe Gantz, a senior running back out of Worcester, gets an opportunity, and that will be your final snap of the afternoon. So the Ohio State Buckeyes responded in the way that Jim Tressel had hoped they would, as they shake off the effects of that disappointing loss to USC. And now the tremendous friends, Jim Tressel and Tim Beckman, will greet and exchange pleasantries. It was all Jim Tressel and the Ohio State Buckeyes today, as they rack up the 38-0 shutout win over the Toledo Rockets. Don't go away, a lot to tell you about. Doug and I will return to Cleveland in a moment. The Ohio State Buckeyes got exactly what they wanted out of this business trip to the city of Cleveland. The 38-0 shutout win over the very close friend of Jim Tressel, Tim Beckman, and the Toledo Rockets. Hope you enjoyed Michael Rega with my partner Doug Chapman. And you know, for Ohio State, it was about needing to feel good and feel good quickly. And this offense was superb today, Doug. And Terrell Pryor certainly put everybody on notice early on that it was going to be a very big day for the Ohio State O.
He did it early. He started off with a couple nice balls to Sonsenbacher, but I like to see him throw the football. We all know he can scramble. We know he's a great athlete, but he looked comfortable back there. Had a couple bad throws, but for the most part, he has come along a lot from game 1 and 2 to where he is now as a passer.
3 touchdown throws for Terrell Pryor today. As you look at Ohio State with Carmen, Ohio, 3 touchdown throws today, and it started early to this big shot to Dane Sonsenbacher early on.
Yeah, 76 yards. You see Sonsenbacher right up the seam, untouched, makes it look easy. Terrell Pryor has a big-time arm. You give him the time and the protection, he can deliver the football. And once again, to Sonsenbacher, the little one-hand route. Nice touch on the football. He pulls it in, and they got the running game going. Boom, Herron takes it out. That's what they really need to get up and running, is their running game. They have to find that because they're going to have to use it at one point during the season, and it's a quarterback's best friend.
That you see also the work of Aaron Petrie, and Ohio State had the 24-0 lead. Then here's a big play. This is 3rd and 6, and Pryor's on the loose and out the back door to get Ohio State out of trouble.
They're doing what he does best, using his athleticism, his legs to make plays, and then he takes it in right here for the 1-yard quarterback sneak. This young man has a lot of potential. He's going to be a great player here at Ohio State.
Well, Terrell Pryor able to bounce back, and then defensively, Ohio State. Look at Kurt Coleman rip that football away from Eric Page, and Ross Holman on it for the recovery to ward off Toledo.
And it was just that type of day today for Toledo. Nothing going well. You see the look on Aaron Opelt's face, and then the back shoulder fade by Terrell Pryor to Posey. Great play. Everything went well for them today.
He was able to hit DeVere Posey there. We're joined by the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Jim Tressel. Jim, Michael Rega, Doug Chapman. Offensively, you got out of the gate early on and were superb. Evaluate the performance of Terrell Pryor in your offense today.
They did a good job of striking big and striking early. We've got a long way to go before we are where we want to be, but you know, our defense sets it up now. They put through the shutout, and that's why I'm going to run in and go talk to them. Nice talking to you guys.
Okay, Jim, we appreciate that.
Alrighty.
Jim Tressel bouncing back from the victory today, grabbing the win after the loss to USC. Coach wanted to get in and get with his football team, but again, you know, there was so much conversation during the course of the week about Ohio State and how they would respond, and Jim Tressel had his football team ready And because he's so close with Tim Beckman, he told us during the week, it's going to be tough to play a young man that I'm extremely close to and have had family ties with down through the decades.
It's going to be tough, but when you strap it on and you go out on that field, I think all of those feelings go away. Jim Tressel knows what his team is all about. He knows that they lost a tough football game last week, and they had to come out today and not just win, but they had to make a statement, and they had to prove something to themselves. They had to come out and establish themselves, get their own identity, and I think they did that early and sustained it through the entire game.
And use that now to head back into Big Ten play within Columbus against Illinois next week. Doug Oway will come back, show you more of how this unfolded as Boom Heron lowered the boom to get in the end zone. All part of an Ohio State 38-0 win over Toledo.